You could have heard this episode 48 hours early on our Patreon, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. By joining us for as low as $1 a month, you'll receive episodes early, gain access to our Discord server, and get yourself an Indieheads podcast sticker. All of our upcoming episodes will be on our Patreon feed 40 hours before it hits our public podcast feeds. But if you're hearing this through our Patreon feed, we thank you so much for your support. We especially want to thank our Real Ones patrons, including Becca Etienne, Georgia Mikowski, Tuck Clary, James Boss, Marcy Anime, Chance Holdup, Delaney Mothman, Josiah Duncan, Jenna, Matt Cameron, Great in the Back of My Dragula, Jackson Christ, Charles, Nicole Rifkin, Tim's Discount Prices, Parker Gross, Sam Aldridge, Andrew Grieve, Jay, Rena, Ian, Matthew Taylor, I Like Books, Jonathan David, Sarah Moore, Griff, Max Kabazinski, Mark Barry, Cal 50, Chewing on the Labia for 6 hours like a steak from Cracker Barrel, Chris Wade, Midwest Maxwell, Jake Wald, Grant, Keep Autism Weird, Rob Marino, Max, Dylan, Zach, Gavin Foreign Freak, and Maze Farms. To become a real one, consider supporting us for $5 a month on Patreon so you have a bonus episode every month and get a shout out at the top of the pod. Anyways, though, enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome to Pod Hero, a new series on the Indie Heads podcast where we talk about as many songs in the Guitar Hero franchise and the Guitar Hero franchise itself as we can. I'm joined with my co-host of the series, who also might be familiar to listeners of the Indie Heads podcast, Gavin. Gavin, hello.
I sure hope I'm familiar to listeners of the Indie Heads podcast. I'd be really scared if I wasn't, if a collective amnesia befell our listening audience.
I mean, just think there's so many people who are going to tap into this who don't know what kind of chaos we're about to unleash. Thinking it's gonna be like a straightforward Guitar Hero podcast.
Yeah.
See, Gavin, when we kicked you out of the Indie Heads podcast like twice this past year.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
We did an Eternal Sunshine on everybody's brain.
Men in Black
they all forgot you.
Every Indie Heads podcast sticker has a memory wipe flash in it.
But you're hearing our other voice, who obviously Matty Monroe,
hi,
host of all of the Indie Heads podcasts, but sitting here in the producer role today.
Yes,
helping us, as you said, with the ones and the twos.
DJ Hero Matty.
Yes,
DJ Hero Matty.
Yeah,
I'm here to make sure the series goes off without a hitch by sitting in the back seat this time, because listeners, would you be surprised that I don't have a whole lot of history with the Guitar Hero games, but I want to offer a platform for those that do, because I know a good idea when I see one, and this is a good idea, and I want to make sure it happens and goes to fruition. But so if you don't hear me a lot this episode, it's cause of that, because I'm dealing with real ball knowers, okay? I'm dealing with real ball knowers, and I'm just
Ernie ball knowers, because they're guitar strings, you see.
This is true.
Yeah. You say it's a good idea, but at some point earlier today, I was like, what if a good bit was I like just pretend to communicate entirely through like guitar peripheral clunks this entire time?
I was thinking about doing the exact same thing and pretending like it was Morse code. But I determined that's more of an episode 7 or 8 idea.
Say, I've received your coded messages.
Yeah, I'm acting on them soon. Casey Lynch, I've received your coded message in the chart for what is it, Black Widow.
I've seen the messages in the charts.
Yeah, in Chemical Warfare by Slayer, I have received the Dave Mustaine. I've received the coded message in Sudden Death.
The Buckethead candidate.
Yeah, I have converted.
I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but a bit in the Discord has been that Buckethead can only communicate through guitar trills and just like all of his like weird solo shit. So like we're not too far removed from that. But you may have heard a fourth person on here. And so before we get into our little backgrounds about the series and kind of our own history as hosts, let's introduce our very first of many special guests, Blake Hester. Blake Hester, who has contributed an oral history of Guitar Hero, first for Vice, but now as an upcoming book that is being crowdfunded. We'll drop the link of that in the description. But Blake, welcome.
Hello.
Great to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for not introducing me as AJ Moser's roommate, which, while technically true, and perhaps my most shining achievement, I am here to promote my book instead of my friendship with AJ. Thank you for having me.
Look, Blake, you're...
Yeah. I love that.
You're lucky that I'm not the host of this episode, because if I was, I probably would have done that.
Last time
I probably would have done that.
Last time Blake was here, he had to listen to the 30-minute astronaut in the ocean from AJ.
So it's a miracle that he came back.
Yeah, it really is. But I mean, who else could it have been on the first episode?
I remember very vividly, I had been putting off looking at an art book I had. That when AJ did that, I actually just was like, "Oh, this is the perfect time to just like read through that." And it was a great book. It was Frank Kosick's Man's Ruin, so check it out, listeners. But thanks for having me back. Thank God AJ's not here to derail that show.
He's already threatening a Muse transmission in the Discord after like not saying anything in like the 5 days of planning we've been doing beforehand.
I assume he's gonna listen. I've really, like, in the 7 or 8 months I've lived with AJ, like, granted, we're both older. Like, we're not like 21-year-olds moving in with each other. Like it's been a great experience. But like, if there's any mercy about AJ, it's that I do not listen to the bands he threatens people with. Like, he's not just like in his room listening to Tool and whatnot. And Muse. Like, he's mainly listening to Goose, which is like, I'm not really a jam band guy, but like Goose rocks, so it's like, that's really cool. But like, luckily the Twitter AJ, the Muse and Tool guy is not in my home, because I think I would have jumped out the window by now.
Oh God. I mean, again, you wouldn't be the first New York City jumper to exist, so you know.
Eric Clapton's kid, you know.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God!
Speaking of a Guitar Hero.
Anyway,
did not make this episode, by the way. Guitar Hero 1 could have.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah. I what's there to say about Eric fucking Clapton? But anyway, yes, go fund Blake's book so he and AJ Moser can make rent.
There's no reason if you're listening to this episode of this podcast to not want Blake's book. And that's
I also think by now we'll have announced cheaper versions of the book, because maybe someone made that book too expensive, and now we have cheaper versions that I'm really excited about.
Hey,
but yeah, you can go do that.
Mm-hmm. Thinking of the working man, and we appreciate that.
My book, I like to think my book is for the working class, but unfortunately we did announce it as a 1%ers item, so we brought that down. Brought that down for the working man. They can now afford the novel.
And we're looking for 100%ers here. We're FCing the crowdfunding. I'm just trying to shoehorn as many of this fucking shit as I can. Only plug your book.
See, because we could have had a really bad, hashtag Occupy Blake and AJ's apartment movement
Please
going
don't do
on.
that.
But thankfully, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, please.
The only occupier in your guys' apartment is Cloud Moser.
Cloud hasn't been here. Okay, dude. The Cloud hasn't been here for weeks, and I miss AJ mostly because that's my bro. I like deeply miss Cloud. Like Cloud is Cloud. Like, we jokingly call him my nephew, but I feel like he is a family member that has been gone for weeks. Like, he is a part of my home has been taken away from me, and I like every day AJ is sending me pictures of Cloud. I'm like counting the seconds. I love that dog so much.
You're an empty nester. So awesome.
I feel like if you were to poll people in the Discord server on their favorite podcast member, Cloud Moser would come out in a landslide.
Yeah.
What was remarkable about moving in with Cloud? This is how the sausage gets made of podcasting with AJ. As if you do a podcast with AJ, Cloud seems like the most undisciplined, worst behaved dog ever. Because when AJ records, inexplicably, Cloud just goes ballistic. But what no one ever sees is Cloud is like the most behaved dog I've ever seen. Like, he's very quiet and chill. But there's something about podcasting that is like just sets that dog off. And it's he's a modern age dog. He hates podcasts as much as anyone else out here, but it's very strange. Like, my dog by comparison is horribly behaved compared to Cloud. So shouts out to the king, Cloud Moser.
Shout out Cloud.
Shout out. But we should get into this. So, and just off the jump, because this is the first episode, and also because every single person that we have on, I want to like go through their own history and figure out kind of what has drawn so many people to this series over time and what makes it endure as such a like pop culture like icon in history, even though it is like long since fallen from the limelight. So at the jump, I just want to like get into personal histories with Guitar Hero, and I'll start with mine. I'm gonna keep it brief, but I'll throw it to the rest of you. But like, I remember my history was I came across Guitar Hero 1 like maybe a few months or so after it had come out, and I thought it was like kind of just like a gimmicky video game thing until like my like elementary school like best friend at the time like had it at his house, and so like every time I would go over, I would like basically be switching off on songs with him in his like basement, and it would just be like I would just be playing back and forth. Eventually I think I would get my own around Guitar Hero 2 and basically kind of stuck with it through the entirety of the original run of the series. So basically all the way up through Warriors of Rock, I basically didn't miss a single thing except for like some of the like weird spin-offs that we're going to get into at some point, because at a certain point there's just so much happening in the series. I think the second part of this, I labeled it in my own like spreadsheet as the proliferation, is how I've described it. But yeah, it became like this kind of like weird obsessive hobby of mine. It became a way that I like started to get a very rudimentary like knowledge of music, especially like rock history. It was the thing that like spurred me to try to start learning how to play instruments, although like I've said this before in an essay that I wrote about the anime series K-On!, but my experience learning guitar was nowhere near as like smooth as like the game, but like the game did like what it was intending, in the sense that like it made me feel like I could play anything and like do anything, because after a while, like maybe a year or so at it, I was like able to like blaze through these campaigns on expert and all this stuff, because it was just like I was putting so many hours into the game. And even still now, like I'll go back and sometimes just like sit down with like Guitar Hero 2 or 3. If I see a Guitar Hero arcade machine in public, I will like walk my ass up there and I will play fucking Helicopter by Block Party and make it everybody else's problem. So it's been like this weird thing that has stayed in my life for so long. But yeah, Gavin, what about you?
I would ditto. I mean, it ruined my life. Probably. Look at me. I remember going to my older brother Keith's house, and he had Guitar Hero 2, and I just sat there, and he was like, "Here, whatever, you can play," you know. And I played Strutter by Kiss because
hell yeah,
I was like 12 or 13, and I only listened to the Beatles and Kiss, and I was like, "Oh, this aside from Tony Hawk's Underground, which has Kiss." A level you can skateboard with Kiss. This is like the coolest video game of all time, right? And so next year, or you know, whenever it came out, I got Guitar Hero 3 for Christmas, and then I bought every single Rock Band Guitar Hero except for I didn't have the first one because I didn't have a PlayStation. I was an Xbox kid. So also 80s is ruled out. I didn't get Van Halen because I didn't care about Van Halen, and I also didn't get Green Day because I didn't care about Green Day. But I had fucking Lego. I had smash hits.
Rock Band was Green Day was Rock Band.
Oh yeah, I meant all the rhythm games. I had I had Wii Music. I had all the rhythm games.
DJ Hero.
I had DJ Hero 1 and 2.
Nice,
I had them all.
Dude, fuck yeah.
I had them all.
Better prepare than me for that.
Yeah, it was like all the video games I wanted to play were skateboarding or rhythm games. I didn't care about anything else, and I'm still kind of in that boat. Yeah, it ruined my life. It made me like music, and I fear the person I'd be if I didn't discover Guitar Hero. I might be a normal man with short hair who cares about stuff, but now I like know about like classic rock. It sucks, but it's also awesome. I know who Cheap Trick is. I know who Bunny Carlos is.
Matty, but before this podcast goes live, can you Photoshop the meme of the two guys on the bus and have me be the like Guitar Hero Save My Life and Gavin be Guitar Hero Ruin?
Also, a quick story. One of the few things I regret as a teenager is I hit fellow podcast member Grant in the head with a Rock Band drumstick for some reason while we were fighting as teenagers, and it left a big welt, and I felt bad immediately, and he didn't deserve it. So everyone in the comment sections of the YouTube video or on Twitter in the replies to this episode, now is your chance to get all your mean opinions on me out. Say you don't like me. Talk about my cruelty, the inherent cruelty in my soul. I would love to read all those.
This is great feedback to get for the first episode of this series where you're co-hosting the entire time.
Yeah, no, let's get it out of our system early is what I'm saying. By the time Grant gets on here, I want it to be water under the bridge. I don't want him to bring that story up. I want him to say it's old news.
Well, we gotta have a good host, bad host. Babyface and the heel, and,
That's
and
right.
Gavin is playing the heel to start off the series.
Oh, I definitely will. Once you hear what my favorite song this episode is.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
Ooh. I'm excited.
I'm not. I will fully admit, I'm not the most invested in this playlist because, again, I never played this game as a child, and even I'm like, oh man, I really am not looking forward to what your least favorite song is on this playlist, or what your favorite is.
Of the options that just crossed my mind, I'm holding with bated breath, but we'll toss it to Matty last because, like you said, you have like the least amount of experience. But Blake, do you want to get into your own background and what's kind of like made Guitar Hero be this thing that's like still kind of like been this enduring force in your life?
Sure, it's not really.
Perfect answer. I love it.
I had Guitar Hero 1 when I was a kid. It came out when I was 11, and I remember getting it for Christmas, and it was like kind of a one more song at Christmas almost, because I opened all my presents and I was like, this is sick, and then my mom and dad were like, yeah, but what's that behind the tree? And it was
oh
Guitar Hero.
shit,
and that was like super sick, and I played the shit out of Guitar Hero 1. Like, I have very fond memories of it, but I also like played real guitar at that time, so I think like the fantasy Guitar Hero might have sold me because I like wanted to play guitar. If this game would have come out like 2 years earlier, it would have been like the reason I started playing guitar, right? Because as a kid, I was like, does that make sense? Like, I wanted to play guitar.
Yeah,
I think the game would have totally gotten me there. So like I played the first game, and then I never had another Guitar Hero. I never had a Rock Band, never had any of it. I played them, of course, like at friends' houses and everything, but I did not have a very long history with the game. And I just thought it sounded like a good story. In 2020, when I wrote this original Vice story, I think I was just like, what should I write? Like, what game doesn't have a good oral history about it? Because oral histories were all the rage back then, and it was kind of the last gasp of long form writing and video game journalism before it all became AI, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think it was just one of the ones I Googled and was like, oh, no one's done this yet? I guess I should do it. And it was like only in doing that I kind of like fell in love with the story of the game and like harmonics. I think all those people that worked at Harmonix are so cool, and they created so many musicians, which is like the sickest thing ever. Like for a video game to make kids want to play. Like Post Malone was like Site's Guitar Hero was like one of the things that got him to play music. Then he did that song with that racist a couple weeks ago, so that's not great. Maybe maybe we don't like Guitar Hero anymore. But yeah, I don't have a deep history of Guitar Hero other than I liked the game a lot as a kid, and I wrote what I'd like to think is the definitive oral history of that first game, but I did just check, and I'm not even cited on the Wikipedia for Guitar Hero.
Wait, what the fuck?
Not the game or the series, so I guess I didn't write the definitive piece.
We're fixing that by the end of this.
We're gonna have all of our warriors on that shit by next week.
The warriors of Rokk will assemble.
But I definitely I definitely have a soft spot for Guitar Hero. Like, I think it rocks. I think it is such a culturally valuable thing in video games and pop culture.
Yeah, it's kind of I was just gonna say it's kind of impossible to like even like consider certain parts of like the current video game landscape without Guitar Hero, like
for sure.
In terms of like especially what it's done with like licensed soundtracks, because like that was always a like big thing beforehand with like sports games and whatnot. But I feel like just across the board, like I feel like you couldn't get like as to a certain place in like even like say what like fucking Fortnite is doing right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Guitar Hero's in Fortnite now at this point.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Basically,
Metallica, Lars Ulrich skin.
Now, if y'all ever do a Tony Hawk podcast,
we've been wanting to for years.
Pencil me in. It's been on the ideas docket for a while.
Yeah. Pencil me in for Tony Hawk's Underground, because I will say that shaped my entire being. Was just that soundtrack.
Same.
Like my favorite bands, and anyway,
everyone's gonna be fighting for that one,
and I'm gonna win. So they can fight all they want. But
the point I was going to make, was kind of the inverse of what Natalie said, which is I wonder where rock music would be right now without Guitar Hero.
That's
would it
a
be
good point.
Fully ass dead, or like I don't know. Like what would we still be listening to? Like give me a hell, give me a yeah type rock music. I don't know what. Like it's something I would like. I think that's a question we should start asking people at the beginning of these episodes.
I think that's really interesting, because if you think about like honestly like certain songs in some of these games, it's kind of, I would kind of like genuinely wonder if like maybe people in our generation would even know what the songs are without Guitar
I would
Hero.
not know what the fuck Slow Ride by Foghat is. Not
Me
that that's
neither.
my favorite
No.
song, but I wouldn't know what it is, you know?
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot of bands that would not have a cultural footprint at this point in history. Like no one would give a shit who Dragon Force is in 2024.
Oh, no, sure.
100%. 100%.
They're still like kind of doing the festival circuit off.
Yeah,
what is
around.
it? Through the Fire and Flames or whatever. Like so, good for them, I guess. But I think there's so many bands no one would like ever think twice about because of that. And then there's like obviously like they taught a lot of kids about like the Ramones or whatever, and that's sick. But it's like I don't know. We still got Dragon Force, I guess, because of them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
this is way down the pipeline, but it'd be so funny when we get to the Guitar Hero 3 episodes that we just do not cover that song. Like we just pretend that song doesn't exist.
It's possibly the worst song of all time.
Whoa.
That is such a fucking shitty song. Like I think it's cool he shreds like that, but I can't do that Dream Theater type stuff.
I feel like we'll get to it, but I feel like Through the Fire and Flames blows its load on the first like 30 seconds, and then it's just
sure,
like, there's still like 6.5 minutes of this song left.
Yeah.
Premature riffing. You know?
But before we dive into it, Matty, as you mentioned, you don't have much familiarity, but what familiarity do you have with Guitar Hero?
So I owned Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rokk on the Wii when I was a child.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I did love that game a lot when I was a kid. I played it a lot. But here's the thing. I could never get past medium because I have the type of autism where like I can use my thumbs and my index fingers, but like anything else on like a gaming periphery, just can't do it. Like I type with my fucking index fingers only. And I'm still a pretty good typer. I would say like my speeds are pretty good on typing, but like I can never wrap my brain around like doing anything past hard. So like when I would see like people do those 100% expert runs on Through the Fire and the Flames when I was a kid, I was just like, I can't conceive of doing this. Like how do you get your brain to wrap around, like you're holding it like what? Like and then seeing people do it like blindfolded, like I'm like, how? This hurts my brain. It hurts my brain. But I love that game as a kid, but I never really played any of the others. It was just like that one game on the Wii, and by the time I could have gotten more into the series, I got my first Xbox 360 and got really into Call of Duty. So that's where I went. I kind of wish I went to the Guitar Hero realm and the Rock Band realm, because I feel like I would have been
sevenfold. You're good.
That's true.
I mean. That is true. But I do feel like I would have been a much more well-versed person than I am today. But you know what? I think the differences that make up all the fabric of the Indie Heads podcast, you know, you have your fucking nerds like Gavin and Natalie who loved Guitar Hero.
Okay.
And you have me, your cool jock friend. No, I was not a cool jock. I was not a cool jock. But still, that is my history. So I'm very excited to learn about the history of these games and the many songs that made up them. Because one thing I found out relatively recently, and we'll get into when we talk about our first couple songs, I did not realize that, at least for the first few games, how much they relied on covers because they didn't have the masters or like the exact rights they needed to have the actual songs in the game. Mm-hmm. I did not know that until like way too recently.
Well, it was
listening to this playlist was a lot of fun. Trying to be like, okay, like here's what they got right, here's what they didn't get right.
It's fun. It's fun, especially if you're not familiar, to like compare the two songs back to back, because like I had the thing where I like listened to the originals so much that I kind of forgot what some of the covers sounded like, and so playing it back, it was like, oh, what's happening here? What did they do? What did they do in the lab to get it to sound like this?
Mm-hmm. And I think we should just get right into it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think we can get right into it. So we're gonna start. So we have the first few songs in the game. We got your basics right at the jump. We got your fucking "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. We got your Ramones' "I Want to Be Sedated." Both fine songs, both okay songs. But here's the thing. There are only so many songs that we can cover in this series, and so kind of what we are doing is we're selecting a series of highlights. The song selection goes as this. Is the song interesting to talk about? Can we add something new to it? Is it especially good? Is it especially bad? What bits can we riff on with it? Does it feature a returning guy or possibly a new guy who's going to become a ringer in the series who we're going to see as a recurring character? And that's how the first song that we're talking about today is White Zombie's Thunder Kiss 65, because Rob Zombie back again. It feels kind of poetic to start with one of our best guys.
Yeah.
Is the indie heads, are y'all pro Robert?
Very.
Oh, we've been pro.
Okay, cool.
Pro.
This is
Robert
a Rob Zombie
movies?
safe space.
His movies?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
He's got some good ones. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Again, there are a number of Halloween 2 truthers amongst the Indie Heads podcast.
Yeah. Do y'all fuck with 3 from Hell?
I haven't seen
I
it
haven't
yet.
seen 3 from Hell.
That's a cool one. That's a cool movie.
Okay.
If someone told me this was the actual first riff they learned on a guitar, like it makes sense to me, which is makes the solo being in the first stage of this game so fucking crazy. In comparison, this is a guy doing his best at being Rob Zombie.
Yeah, this is basically like a Rob Zombie Halloween costume, but for a voice.
This is Grant, yeah.
I think it kind of sounds like a live version of Rob Zombie actually doing it, but he has he has COVID or something. Like he's really kind of struggling through it. But like it's like, oh yeah, I guess that is him, and it's like yeah,
it's like the fucking walk hard gag about Craig Robinson having the laryngitis, but like
yeah. I think that's a hard fucking voice to do though, so I feel like you gotta kind of give it to that dude a little bit.
No,
that's a tough gig.
Of the covers here, I was initially a little uncharitable when I was running it back, but then hearing some of the later ones, I'm like, you did pretty good. You did pretty solid with all of this, like, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is, I think this is, like, of the stuff in this, like, first tier. So basically, for, like, unfamiliar listeners, each of the games has these separated tiers, usually in the early parts of the game, or the early games, they were, like, 5 songs, so, like, 2 or 4 songs, and then sometimes maybe an encore. And each one would be kind of scaled to difficulty until Warriors or like Guitar Hero World Tour came and fucked everything up. But yeah, of the stuff that's in this first tier, I think this is my like favorite of the collection, and it's a good like intro song because like Gavin said, it's got a nice solid like steady opening riff, but it lets you do kind of like some fun solo stuff to make you like feel like kind of you're on top of the world if you get it down early on in the game. So it's like I don't know, it's like the perfect ideal. Like to me, like honestly starting with a song is kind of perfect because it feels like the epitome of what a good Guitar Hero cut could be.
Yeah, I get the I Love Rock and Roll and I Want to Be Sedated of it all, you know, I guess the really like, oh, mom wants to play a song type songs, but this is where the real freaks come out at night.
I mean,
and I'm talking about Rob. Yeah.
That's kind of the sick thing about this whole soundtrack, though, right? It's like the Donnas aren't maybe the best band in the world, but it's cool they're in there, like up there with like Journey and shit. And it's like it's cool. Rob Zombie just kind of like skirts in or along the other. I guess he's a legend of rock. I don't know, but like it's cool that little kids are like fucking listening to this shit with like playing their PlayStation.
This was how I got introduced to Rob Zombie. I didn't know who he was at the time, and I was just like, whatever White Zombie is, it shreds. But yeah, no, I do agree with like Blake that I feel like that is kind of like the games at their best hit that like ideal balance of like having the very like predictable popular mainstays that you need to kind of get people into the door, but then also the kind of like weird cuts and freak shit that really distinguish it as something that isn't just pandering and like it actually is kind of like defining its own identity in the song choices kind of. We're gonna get into that with our next song as well because
yeah,
oh god, what a fucking cut to like here for the first time when you're like 11 years old. So again, going back to the like water of the, oh my god, the fucking the pattern that we're talking about right after this in the game. Smoke on the Water, Deep Purple. Come on, it's like the riff everybody learns on guitar. If you're going to start like have a game that introduces this concept, you kind of have to. But then immediately after that, we have I'm dreading this conversation. Actually, we've been like riffing on this for like months at this point before we even started recording. But I'm of course talking about the Bad Religion song "Infected."
Of
which
course
closes out tier 1. Matty, hit that file, please. This one,
I don't know still. I don't know still.
There was a point when I was a teenager where I convinced myself that this song was actually great, and like I don't know what I was thinking. And going back to it now, I'm like, there's something very strange about this song in that it's like the middle ground between like that kind of like heavier side of alternative rock and also proto like butt rock in like I don't know. It's and this cover when the like vocalist comes in, it's just like bar band reject, like third string. Apologies to whoever the vocalist on this is. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I like this song a lot. Walking into this series, I made a bold prediction 2 years ago. I was like, oh, Bad Religion Infected, worst song in Guitar Hero 1. And everyone told me to like hold my horses. And I was like, no, it sucks so bad. And now I'm like, does this song kick ass? I don't know. Do I hate it? I don't know. I always consult Ivan on these issues. So I said, Ivan, how do you feel about Bad Religion? And Ivan said, Bad Religion's the worst band of all time. And I've come to the conclusion, this is not about this song in particular, but they were a necessary cringe that we needed. Like Reddit atheism type shit for the Reagan era, you know?
I see that.
It was a tough time. We needed them to get to what we have now. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I kind of fuck with Bad Religion. Like they're like their mainstays. Like I like the song like Personal Jesus and whatever that song in Tony Hawk's Underground is. Like that song's sick. But they're such a skippable. They're like such a skippable band compared to like the other 90s mall punk bands. It's like I'm gonna listen to Rancid, No Effects, any of those bands before Bad Religion, because like Gavin said, there's something that's so fucking annoying about them. Like their logo is so annoying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And this cover, easily the most skippable thing I've ever heard. It's like, I'm not playing the Bad Religion song in Guitar Hero. Are you
I
out
was
of
gonna
your
say,
mind?
like, can you imagine if they got No Effects as the Fall in here?
Oh, it would be so
the
sick.
decline.
But it's like,
Decline.
How do you know? Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm a fake fan.
And if you're like popping in Guitar Hero and your friend is like, dude, we gotta play that Bad Religion song. It's like, nothing has been skipped quicker in human history than this song on Guitar Hero.
Why is this in the first guitar? You know, you think you want like the best of the best for your first game, and I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think because there's nothing interesting going on here. It hit me that the solo for this is basically like if the solo to Rob Thomas and Santana Smooth had no swag.
Yeah. The atonal punk solo was not giving atonal punk solo in the way that it should. I guess Greg Ginn wanted too much money. But I have a game here that will probably last longer than the rest of this song. This is called Bad Religion, Real or Fake, and it's very easy. I'm going to give you 9 song titles and 1 fact about the band Bad Religion, and you just tell me if you think it's true or fake. So the first one that was hinted at earlier that should be easy to eagle-ear listeners of the Indie Heads podcast. Is this a real Bad Religion song title? American Jesus.
Yes.
Yes. I think I called it Personal Jesus earlier, which is a different song, but yes, it is a real song.
We knew what you meant.
Much better song.
Yeah, much better song. So are we all in agreement that is a real Bad Religion song? You are all correct.
Yes.
Here's my one and only fact of this episode, or fact or fiction. So let's do fact or fiction as the answer for this one. There are 7 full paragraphs under the logo section of the Bad Religion Wikipedia page Fact or fiction?
It's got to be a fact.
Fact.
You guys are wrong. There are 8 paragraphs under the logo section of Bad Religions.
That was a trick question.
Yes, it was. I'm sorry. I feel bad about that. Okay, is this a real song title? Atheist Peace.
Fiction.
That feels like it's a little too on the nose. I'm going to go no, but I'm very likely to be wrong.
That is a real Bad Religion song.
God damn it.
I'm sorry, what was the name of it? Atheist what?
Atheist Peace.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. How about real or fake song title? Mass for the Mindless Millennium.
That's fake.
Okay, that can't be real. There's no way.
That's a Megadeth song.
Yeah, I made that shit up. How about a street kid named Desire?
Yes, that's fact.
Yeah, that's real. That's gotta be
that
real.
Is a real one. How about I Love My Computer?
Ooh,
no way.
Depends. Here's the thing. It depends on the year, but I'm gonna lean towards yes. I'm gonna lean towards that as a real song.
Now I'm imagining what a Bad Religion response album to OK Computer would be like.
I love my computer.
I'm gonna go fiction.
That is a real Bad Religion song.
God damn it!
No way. No way.
How about oil rigs for royal pigs?
That's fiction.
That's real.
Fake.
That's real.
That's real. It's real.
No, I made that shit up.
God, you're so creative, Gavin.
If you're in a band,
so creative.
All the rhymes are Gavin.
Yeah, if you're in a band and you have some shit to say about George W. Bush, feel free to take that song title from me. How about The Irrationality of Rationality?
That's real.
That's real.
That's real.
I pulled a quick one on you. That's a NoFX song. I'm so sorry.
God damn it.
How about,
that we should get 50% of the points for that one.
Actually, that's a fun game. Bad Religion song or NoFX song.
Yeah, we'll play that when we talk about NoFX and World Tour when we have, for some reason, sold outs in that game. How about Ad Hominem?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I can keep that in. That's a real song. All right, here's the last one. Condoleezza Rice, like the poison.
That feels that feels like a NoFX song. That doesn't feel. I don't think it's a Gavin creation.
Song. I didn't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that again. That I feel like that could be a Gavin creation. So I want to go fake.
Yeah, y'all are doing good at this. I made that shit up too.
Okay, I've figured out the pattern. I know the pieces fit. Okay, Gavin, I know the pieces fit.
Matty's mind looks like the inside of the Tool level.
Yeah, but it's just the Bad Religion logo over and over again.
There is a tiny little 3D Conor O'Malley in my brain. All right, he's rummaging through there. He's in the Hudson Yards. He's getting lost in the Hudson Yards in my brain right now as we speak. Here's the thing though with Bad Religion. Of course, the guy, whatever his name, Mr. Bad Religion, of course, he founds Epitaph Records, and Epitaph has an offshoot called Anti, and Anti signs MJ Linderman. So I can't really. Technically, Bad Religion is responsible for MJ Linderman.
They're influential
so I'm gonna
and important, but man, I think it's just aged poorly compared to their.
I mean, what about the Tony Hawk ones? I guess that's for a different podcast.
The 80s, of course. They had good 80s fast punk, and then something happened to them for the past 30 years that I just don't want to listen to them anymore.
Yeah.
So when does this song come out? This is from
94.
94.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Stranger Than Fiction. It was Bad Religion ass. 21st Century Digital Boy was the one I listened to a lot as a teenager. That one's fine. It's better than this. We didn't even talk about the fucking lyrics of this. Like,
I mean,
like something like I having like curtain want to drill you like an ocean. We can work it out.
I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about.
Yeah, my brain was just like off. I just hear like what is essentially the punk rock version of the butt rock voice. Like that was what I was hearing. I was just hearing a sludge of punk butt, in my ears, and I just it tuned out. Tuned out.
I'm gonna keep a running count of like songs with lyrics that are just like woefully just like, why should I be hearing this at age 11? And this is the first of the tally. Like especially the last chorus, him screaming, "I want to kill you" on the altar. Like
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Cool. That's cool stuff. I dig that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, speaking of assassinations and being murdered.
Oh, that's a great segue.
Hell yes.
Thank
this
you,
is why you're
Gavin.
here, Matty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got again. This is why they pay me the big bucks.
I looked at the playlist. Holy shit!
Okay.
Natalie, what is the next song?
Pantera, Cemetery. Sorry. I had to be edgy for a second. I apologize. That was rude of me.
This is the fine balance we're crafting here, folks. So in the second set, the first set was opening licks. Second set, axe grinders. We have another like series of mainstays. You got your Black Sabbath Iron Man, which I did not know this. I looked this up. Had the cool fact where they literally like tracked down the exact model of fan that like Ozzy uses in the intro to that in order to like make it work in the intro in their cover.
That's awesome.
Which is really fucking sick. Boston, More Than a Feeling. It's Boston's More Than a Feeling. Judas Priest, You've Got Another Thing Coming, almost made it on here because I do love that album, but at the end of the day,
we will talk about Judas Priest when something happens in the future.
We'll talk about Judas Priest in the 80s episode because that one is one I could not cut. I could not like force myself to cut. But right now, in another like moment that like defines the moment of like Guitar Hero being like a very idiosyncratic of the moment thing, we've got Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out, which I was talking about this with Abby the other day, but it's like this game and like whatever fucking Madden game that this song were in like convinced me at the time that Franz Ferdinand was like one of the biggest bands in the world. Like that was my impression like at the time.
I was about to say the same thing. Like the fucking cultural mindshare this fucking song took up for this band to never be mentioned again in history is so crazy to me.
Which is a shame because that first, I know other people go to bat for some of their other stuff, but like that first album is like all heaters all the way through.
Dude, I remember as a kid, like this song was so big on our local like rock station, and then it was showing up in video games. It's like, oh, it's just gonna be the biggest rock band ever, and then I don't think I've ever heard another Franz Ferdinand song in my entire life. Like I think this is the only one I know. And
this is dipping a little bit into...
This cover sounds identical to me, I'll say.
Yeah, but this is one of the better covers this episode.
Yeah.
We should mention that I think Matty alluded to this before, but I wanted to get this out there. But like the covers in part were because sometimes the masters couldn't be found, but also sometimes it was just like, I believe the story, if I have it correctly, is that because the game was like such a gamble at the time, so few like artists wanted to like necessarily license the masters, and so it kind of became like a like slow going thing. And when we get to Guitar Hero 2, we'll get our first like actual master recordings. Yeah. But like for this game, it ended up being basically all covers except for the bonus songs.
Which I think is kind of cool. Like, you are playing in a cover band, so, like, I think conceptually it's cool. This sounds like a Franz Ferdinand song, though.
Yeah,
like,
this one's really good.
I probably haven't heard this song in 15 years, so it's just completely identical to me.
Yeah.
Because it's funny you guys say that, because I would say this is one of the, like, I would say this is the one that I was, like, maybe because I've heard the Franz Ferdinand song so many times, this is the one that kind of trips me up, like, okay, no, this is definitely a cover. Like, it's not a bad cover, but it's like, okay, you can only get so close. But I was going to say, this is a little bit of a crossover with Best New Pod a little bit, in terms of remembering some guys. Remember when Sparks and Franz Ferdinand made a collab album?
I do not remember that.
What the fuck? Oh, wait, I do, but I just didn't realize it was Sparks. What the fuck?
At least I believe it was Sparks. I'm going to double check. I may be wrong.
I think you are right.
Yep, FFS.
Oh, yep.
Sparks and Franz Ferdinand. Right. Yep, there they are.
That was only... Oh my god, that was 2015. That's
crazy.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was like 2013. That's crazy. It's 2015. What the fuck?
Did you all learn who Franz Ferdinand was because of this band?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like I like read the history briefly, but then like it was the kind of thing where it was like when I was doing like high school history and he came up, I was like, I know who that is. He's the guy who got taken out.
I feel like bands like Bad Religion tried to make kids smarter and more political, and it's actually bands like Franz Ferdinand where it's like, who the fuck is Franz Ferdinand? Like, that's the importance of rock music right there.
Because when you see the band name Franz Ferdinand, you want to figure out what that is. Yeah. You discover the whole history of World War I, and it's just a whole crazy book. And then you just get to Bad Religion, and you're just like, oh, Bad Religion. Don't you mean all of them?
I mean, that's just... Bad Religion's just a logo you draw in your high school binder.
Bad Religion is the first band that's gone straight to Hot Topic.
Yeah.
There are so many things I heard about for the first time because of NoFX's Franco Un-American.
Oh my, we can't get into it. I promise we can't.
Every time I hear the name Ralph Nader, which is not too much these days, I do think about Franco Un-American. I'm like, oh yeah, all because he voted for Nader. There we go.
Now I read some Howard Zinn. Now I'm always depressed. Type beat. Yeah.
I'm gonna like spoil a bit, but like I have a like prompt I'm gonna like try to ask guests at the end of every episode, and I'm like basically dreading at this point that Blake is gonna say a NoFX song.
Oh, I don't know.
I had a similar bit in mind, but to me, this is a wrong take, and I know it. But this song and Paralyzer are the same song in my brain, and if I hear one, I will always think it's the other.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Now that you said it, it's like this song is like the Peter Gabriel Phil Collins meme.
Absolutely.
But like this song is Phil Collins, and Paralyzer is the Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna get a rave DJ pulled up. We gotta see if someone else has thought of this. Someone has to have.
Yeah. So shouts out to Franz for, I don't know, this era of indie music was never for me. Even like the Strokes and the Killers and all that. I don't know. I like this type of music when it sounds a little bit shittier. I guess
sure.
They're good. This is a song that reminds me of my childhood, but I don't have any real connection to it. I never played FIFA because I'm a bloody American. I'm a red blood American. Toby Keith American. Franco American.
Okay, yeah, someone thought of this already.
Yeah.
It immediately loaded. What
are the odds it's somebody in our server?
I would bet money.
There's at least a double-digit percentage chance.
Oh man. DJ Hero Matty already debuted. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's starting to hit a little bit.
Yeah.
This kind of
goes. Okay, getting in the pocket a little bit.
I didn't realize the guy from Figure 11 had that hairline on him.
Oh yeah, classic butt rock looking guy.
Them slowing down the intro like this is fascinating. No, but I mean, like both of them have like basically identical like dance punk like like
the disco influence a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it's that hi-hat ride. But yeah, I was gonna say I'm the counterpoint to Gavin in that like one of the other things in my like musical identity that I think is important to distinguish is that oh shit, what's it doing? What's it gonna do?
It's just gonna skip right over it, I bet. Oh nope.
Oh my god!
Oh wow, they're cooking.
I think we cracked some kind of code.
Oh, they're cooking.
Okay, they got the pocket a little bit again.
Pretty good.
Found the pocket again a little bit.
I think these songs have the same tempo.
I think so.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got to be very similar.
I'm going to show my barber a picture of the guy from Figure 11.
Isn't Paralyzer in Guitar Hero 3?
No.
No,
it came out
one
later
of the handheld
than
games. Maybe.
Yeah, I want to look this up.
I think it might be
continue.
You know what? The Paralyzer guy looks like fucking Jack Johnson.
Yeah, evil Jack Johnson.
Yeah, like Jack Johnson or like
Jack
Five
Johnson.
for Fighting.
Band Hero.
Band
Hero.
Hero.
Band Hero. Okay.
There we go.
They're 2 BPM apart. Paralyzer is 106. Take Me Out is 104. So there you go.
There we go. Because they did not sound like manipulated at all next to each other.
Yeah.
Anyway. The thing that I was gonna say as a counterpoint to Gavin, and I think this is gonna like be very vital to like distinguishing like what stands out to me is that like I feel like a lot of my music taste was governed a lot by video games at the time. So it wasn't just Guitar Hero. It's like I said, like stuff like Madden, other like kind of like sports video games, skateboarding video games. I was like really into Tony Hawk's as a kid.
Yeah.
Fucking Burnout was huge on me. Burnout was the other series I floated instead of this, but this one had like such a clear arc and progression, and I think like cultural chokehold that it made more sense. But it's like I feel like that's why like a lot of my like musical lexicon, like the things that taught me to be interested in music, are things like this, where it's like a combination of like classic rock songs that like were really only meant to be remembered by people who lived through the 70s, alt rock songs by buzz bands, some of which endured, some of which like flamed out really hard really fast and have like no cultural footprint online, or like the most inane obnoxious butt metal. Like that is like all of my like 11-12-year-old music taste condensed into that, which is why like as we start getting more and more into the like butt metal territory of the series, I feel like I'm gonna have some like interesting takes coming out
There's
of this.
butt metal in this?
Not
Guitar
in
Hero?
this, not in
Guitar
first
There's
Guitar
butt
Hero.
metal in Guitar Hero?
What are some butt metal bands? Can you give me a crash course real quick?
Let me think. I mean, the first one that comes to my mind is like Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the
who
ultimate
are going
one.
to make an appearance.
Of course.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm like a big butt rock fan. Butt metal maybe misses me. I mean, Lamb of God, I feel like is maybe butt metal adjacent. That's probably
Avenged Sevenfold's.
Oh well, okay, never mind. Avenged Sevenfold's City of Evil record is fucking flawless, front to back. So I get down with it.
We're gonna have so many events of all takes, but it's like stuff that. Like when we get to fucking Scream Aim Fire, I'm gonna have so much to talk about there.
Who is that? Is that Bullet for My Valentine?
Bullet for My Valentine was a huge band for like preteen Natalie, which is like one of the most baffling things.
Is As They Lay Dying a butt metal band, or do they just have butt metal fans?
I think kind of more the latter, but like I'm willing to say they're like a threshold case.
Okay, last question.
I think it's a case of when there's smoke, there's fire.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last one. I know they're like hardcore legends, but also is Hatebreed a butt metal band secretly, and no one wants to admit it to themselves?
I think most hardcore is in the butt. More hardcore is in the butt territory than anyone who listens to it will ever be willing to admit. Hatebreed is definitely one of them.
I went to a Hatebreed show that Job for a Cowboy, Tear, Every Time I Die, and Full of Hell played, and you could not imagine the combination of human beings that showed up to that show.
I can somehow imagine the
tour.
Like,
I mean, I can't imagine it, but I can definitely smell it.
Like,
I can definitely smell it right now.
I say this as affectionately as possible as the podcast like resident Full of Hell stan, but Full of Hell is kind of like a good modern butt metal band.
Hold on, am I thinking of This
Full
Is
of Hell, more like
or
Full of Smells?
Hold on, was it Full of Hell or This Is Hell?
Get him, Matty.
Oh.
No, it was This Is Hell. It was This Is Hell. That was
I still stand by it. Like
maybe it was Full of Hell. I don't know. It was one of them. It was This Is Hell. It was This Is Hell. It was definitely This Is Hell. Yeah, it was a crazy show. I watched a dude in an Affliction shirt almost beat the shit out of a hardcore kid. I've never been more scared for a human being in my life. So shouts out to
that's butt metal. That's Affliction, Fohawk. Yeah. You're a butt metal band.
Hatebreed is also the only band I've walked out of because they were too loud. They were so loud, I like got a headache and had to leave. So what's more butt metal than that?
That's awesome. I love that.
Good butt metal should make your head hurt for sure.
Yeah.
That's like a Guitar Hero loading screen. We
didn't even talk about the fucking quote. Yeah, the fucking quotes. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up some of these. I'm sorry for my like keyboard clacking.
Wait, is there quotes in the loading, like in the loading screen, kind of like how when you die in Call of Duty, it's like they show you a quote from some like colonist.
Okay, hold up. I fucked up my microphone doing that shit, but okay,
it's more
here we go.
T-shirt type. Cole's T-shirt rock and roll quotes.
I'm gonna start with the most homophobic one.
Oh boy!
Oh no!
Where else?
Oh no!
If anyone insists on wearing a white belt, kick them out of the band. That is a genuine, because like that is a fucking like I can't believe there's a fucking like Blood Brothers like Saskor reference in the first Guitar Hero game. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But always keep an empty vial in the van. You'll see.
That's a good one. That's true
that
as hell.
is a good reference.
You should just do that in general, even if you're not in a band. Like if you're driving over 4 hours, just like be safe.
Don't wear your guitar higher than your belt. You're not in the Beatles.
I disagree with that one.
I don't like that one.
That's my second take. I disagree with.
Yeah, as I grew up, my taste in guitar straps also went up. I was like, stop! You don't need to be that low.
Touching my chin. That shit's touching my chin.
Like Tim Armstrong or whatever, it's like that dude is not actually playing his guitar. Like put that shit under your fucking chin.
Yeah, no, Tim Armstrong got the back issues of like a woman with quadruple H boobies at this point because he'd be playing that Gretsch low as hell.
Yeah.
Last one for now. Actually, I'll do two. I'll do Don't Let Your Drummer Handle the Money, which like, again, I think that's reasonable. That's fair. Like unless your drummer is like the fucking savant of the band. Like although I'm gonna say this, like as a drummer, I feel a little offended. But
look, they're keeping time and they're keeping the bank account in check. I feel like that's the insult to drummers. Let them have the money. Let them take care of it.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm pissed off about this. Like, drumming is pretty fucking complicated. It's not just like Neanderthals.
You're keeping time, and you're keeping in time is numbers, and numbers is money. So you know.
Yeah. Last one for now. All caps. Turn it up.
Yeah, there we go. That's how
there we go. Yeah,
unless you're hate breed, please turn it down. That was a bit much. Jamie, my man, Jamie, I love you. That was like, y'all are sick, but like, turn that shit down, bro. Come on.
I'm gonna come back to these because the bonus songs all have specific loading screens.
Yes, they do.
So I'm going to reference these, but I think "Turn It Up" is a good thing to say about this next song that we've got here. Personally,
we're turning the dial to 11, like we're in the Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm.
We are okay.
I thought you get that reference, Natalie. Did you not get the reference?
Yeah. I got the reference.
I was gonna say you didn't really acknowledge it. You didn't giggle. I was just like, I thought I went over people's heads. That's okay.
But it's ZZ Top. It's Sharp Dressed Man. Like
of course.
I have a playlist that we're not going to watch, but I wanted to, of groomsmen at weddings making their great entrance to this song. But because we've talked so much already, I don't think that's a diversion we need to go down.
Save it for the stream.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Okay. Great idea, Matty.
Gavin's goodies for this, the eventual stream for this, are going to be insane.
Yeah.
If I can, real quick, living with AJ Moser is him just making me sit through videos Gavin shows him. And I don't think I've ever seen one with more than 400 views on YouTube.
I'm so sorry.
It's always like, dude, how do you find this shit?
I'm so sorry.
Gavin is the master of searching like the perfect string of keywords, sorting by view count lowest first, and like going from there.
AJ, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. My hint of the day is if you want to find something good in a pinch, look around your room and find something, and then type that item in, type reggae, sort by uploaded newest.
Oh no!
And then
is that how you found Mr. Fap?
No, yes, actually, I did look up NoFap reggae, and that did pop up. Yeah.
I'd like to shout out on this pod, AJ and my beautiful partners. Our girlfriends are the best people on earth. AJ recently made them sit through the guy who plays the bass covers, but he doesn't know how to play bass. I've never seen two women be more patient with their boyfriends.
Wait, the bass? Is Ricky Republican?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. I've never seen two people just sit there quietly and patiently do something to him.
That's so mortifying.
I feel this way whenever I show Abby anything that is like in relation to the podcast. Like I experience the lesbian version of this like every single day of my life.
I didn't even think to look up if Ricky Republican has done this song. He almost certainly has. This is a stone cold classic in my book.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like, it's a predictable song to throw in the game because like ZZ Top is like the cartoon epitome right down to the appearance of like 80s rockers. But the thing is that this song fucking goes. I've kind of like, the more I've listened to this song as I was like getting the series ready, I was like, am I a ZZ Top fan? Like, I can't think of a time I've been like, oh no, it's fucking ZZ Top. It's like every time I like think of them or like picture their like little beards in my head, I just get like so happy.
Little beards.
Yeah,
famously, their beards are very long.
Yeah,
very big beards, actually.
Gavin just like DreamWorks faced me for those.
Hold up.
Gavin's just doing random frame from Smiling Friends right now.
Hold up. Gavin's got visual gag. Oh my god, it's Stewie playing guitar.
Stewie rocking out.
Stewie.
Oh.
Hang on, here's my impression of Stewie singing a Danzig song. Mother.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You should have saved that for Guitar Hero too. But
yes,
I'm a Texas boy at heart, even though I've lived in the worst state in the whole. I think we're lowest in education. Shout out Oklahoma. Maybe the most stolen land of all time in this. I mean, last in education, top in stolen land. Shout out Oklahoma. I'm a Texas boy, and this I have to like ZZ Top, or else they put me in the barbecue pit. They smoke my ass.
I'm also from the South, and I like a lot of those bands, but ZZ Top has never really done it for me. There's just something about them that doesn't land. I'm more of like a Leonard Skinner type of dude.
Oh, well.
Interesting.
So you're a racist.
Leonard Skinner is like the total opposite, where it's...
Famously, I am a racist.
Yeah, show us all the shirt collection you got. The whole Leonard Skinner shirt collection.
I'm wearing a Saving Private Ryan shirt, which is like, I don't think that's a bad movie politically, but I think fans of that movie are bad politically, so it's not a good look that this is the moment I am being put to the fire.
Okay, we got to talk about, so here, this is one of the things I want to single out, is that because the covers being covers and also like them not wanting to do fade outs, like you're pretending you're like a rock show. You want like a like big climactic finish. They'll sometimes do this thing that has like that carries over into especially like Rock Band when we eventually, like, because I've had like people like already being like, when are you going to do a Rock Band series after this? So I'm like, we might do it. We're probably going to do it, but them adding these like kind of like big rock endings, especially as like cover versions, which like sometimes work. Like I think this one like kind of works, and I think this cover in general is like a pretty solid like faithful cover. Like obviously it's not like ZZ Top, but it's like it's basically like a bunch of dudes cosplaying as ZZ Top, which is basically the same thing as ZZ Top.
It's better than the wedding band version that you're probably used to hearing of this song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll get into some of them, because I think some of the times that they like change things with the songs, especially in this first game, where they're kind of like, I think still like working out some of the kinks and how they're specifically covering some songs, are just flat out baffling. But like this is one where I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. You're like basically doing soloing for a minute. Why not just do a little like capper on it at the very end?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, I'll probably play as the outro song of this episode. The Shoo Shoo cover of this is so fucking good.
I hadn't heard that, even though okay. By the time this is out, I'm gonna spoil this, because this is it'll be live by the time this episode goes live, or at the very least, when it goes public, it will be live. But I have a profile with Jamie from Juju going live next week. It's the first interview for their new record that I've already forgotten the entire long title of. It's like 13-inch stiletto something with a bison horn grips, but great album. I will say great album. Check out the single Common Loon. Anyway, that's my plug.
Lots of reading material, lots of homework to do before the next episode comes out for our listeners.
We're making a lot of assumptions on our listeners, like the people who are here for the Guitar Hero games to like read instead of rocking out, which I think is kind of unfair.
I just want to bang my head. I'm speaking for him right now. I'm with you. I take back the thing I said earlier about writing mean comments about me. I'm on your side.
So let's continue, I think, into the third tier of the game, Thrash and Burn. This is the one that I think is the hardest to make cuts for in the this first half, because right off the top you have Killer Queen by Queen, which I cut mostly just because I thought there wouldn't really be any interesting conversation there. It has one of the more, shall we say, interesting covers, in that like the vocalist is trying very hard to do Freddie Mercury falsetto, but it sounds like kind of like it's the pitfall that like befalls every karaoke person who thinks that they can do Somebody to Love. Like it's we've all been there. But instead of a band that we all know and love like Queen, what about a band that we know basically nothing about? I'm talking about the Exies with the song we all remember, Hey You, from their 2004 album, Head for the Door. This was one I almost cut. I'm going to say it. Like, when I was first, like, throwing songs into here without listening back to them, I kind of was like, will we lose anything by not discussing this? And I listened to it once, and I was like, this is maybe the most interesting song we're going to talk about here. Not for good reasons.
Very strange pick for this game.
Very strange pick for this game.
Yeah. I want to get off the bat here and immediately say the guitar tone for the verses in this song, I would like to dub this the Chris Angel guitar tone, because that's just what my mind, like, this Like, it's just I see the mind freak. You close your eyes and he's there. I don't know what else to describe it as.
It hit me today listening to this that if Matty were to at some point, like when we were doing the car commercial series, like put this as like a butt rock interlude song and say that it was like a song that charted on the alternate, like that era of the charts, but like didn't get that high, I would believe him. I would believe like straight up. This sounds like wrestling butt metal in a way that, but
it's
like the kind of
wrestling.
For the kind of wrestling butt metal that like I don't get the appeal of. Like it feel like it has that like proto Shinedown chorus. It's
yeah.
I don't really like know what's happening here, but I don't like any of it.
So
this was
an interesting thing about the Shinedown comparison is the singer of this band wrote for a bunch of butt rock bands after this and got some number one singles
oh my
as
God,
a producer.
Wait. I pulled this up. Yeah, he wrote, produced, and mixed songs for a 2015 Shinedown album. He's also a Wisconsin person, so maybe I do have to have like Midwest solidarity with this guy.
He, as a producer, I guess, has 6 number one songs.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
A couple by Hailstorm, 1 by Nothing More, 2 by Skillet, and 1 by Scott Stapp. So
Scott Stapp, damn.
Wow,
that's a legend. This is a song I'm only familiar with because it was in Smash Hits, the later cash-in game, where they put in like the best songs from the previous Guitar Hero. So that was really my only exposure to the Guitar Hero 1 songs. It couldn't have been anything else, I guess. I think maybe Bark at the Moon and some other shit was in it. This is a fascinating pick for the first Guitar Hero.
It really is.
Yeah.
There's not really anything interesting going on guitar-wise. There's like
3 Days Grace were popping around this time, right?
So
yeah,
I don't have hard data on this, but my assumption on a lot of this stuff is there are bands featured in Guitar Hero that were labels saying, if you take this, we'll give you this. And this might have been a band the label was trying to push at this point, and they're like, we'll give you X song from popular artist if you also take this.
They were on Virgin for this album, so that does track. So I'm sure that there was some kind of deal that they made with Virgin where it was like, if you have this like mega popular band, you have to take this like one like band that needs the exposure.
On the other hand, something like the Donnas is featured in the game just because Ryan Lesser likes the Donnas, so maybe the Exies just had a fan at Harmonix.
Speaking of being on Virgin, that SG guitar was sure on Virgin a lot the summer this game came out, right? Am I right, guys? Am I right, y'all?
Gavin, I was 11. Gavin, I was 11.
Oh, well, I mean, then I'm... Okay, yep.
Love to back Gavin into a corner where like any joke back is going to be like the most problematic thing.
Yep, that's where this series is headed right off the bat.
I was just gonna like quickly say that pulling up the page for Head for the Door tells me that basically a bunch of these songs were licensed for video games. You have one song in WWE Survivor Series 2004. So there we go. Okay. There we go, wrestling. NFL Street 2, great fucking video game. And Juiced, which I don't know what the fuck this... Okay, it's a racing game. It's basically like trying to ride Burnout's coattails.
Okay. That all of that tracks for me.
So a sick thing... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So I'm just seeing that fucking Bob Ludwig mastered this album. Which is like
is that like a Metallica guy, like the Metallica
he's
producer?
Like a like big classic rock guy. He like master stuff by like Zeppelin, Lou Reed, Metallica. Yeah, just a number of different people.
So the Exies put out a 3-song EP last month. So
okay, I feel like we need to listen to some of this because now.
Yeah, how many monthlies do they have?
Oh, we're gonna talk about it. So I know what Natalie was just about to bring up.
I'm listening to it right now. It's sick.
Okay, I'm gonna say
do
this.
Spirits High. Do Spirits High.
I didn't realize this. I will say when I listened to this playlist, I didn't realize this was a real band. I just assumed this is like the WaveGroup guys. Like this is their actual band, and they just stuck one of their own songs into the game.
Is For What It's
Worth
listen to
Spirits
a
High.
Cover of the classic For What It's Worth, or is it?
I don't know. There's no info on Wikipedia about this EP.
I'm shocked.
Well, okay. There's a like tag about Spirits High, but nothing about the EP itself.
In the fans also like section, there is Smile Empty Soul, and that band's sick as hell. So maybe the Exies is onto something. I'm gonna have to revisit this one.
This is fine.
I guess I'm happy that that music like this is still being made.
For sure.
Happy that real rock music exists today.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, this sounds a lot like Theory of a Dead Man, and then I looked at, like...
for sure.
I looked at... He co-wrote songs for Theory of a Dead Man.
There you go.
Did he write, So Sick of the Hobos? I forget what that song's called.
Oh, God.
That's them, right? I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah, that is Theory of a Dead Man. You're correct.
Like, this is fine. I was gonna say, mostly just while we're still on the Exies, it's just... Speaking of songs where it's just, like, a very strange thing to put in the video game that mostly children are playing is, like, the song is kind of about heroin addiction, but it's also, like, in the weirdest way possible, where it's, like, the lyrics are, like, hey, you're nodding out, what's this all about? And then are, like, basically, like, making fun of somebody, being like, why do you want to die? Like, basically, like, taunting somebody who is, like, I don't know, it's just a very weird tone. We haven't said this yet, but, like, the entire time I've been listening to Hey You and prepping for this, I just gotta get it off my chest. It sounds like he's saying, hey you're nutting now.
I always thought it sounded like, hey you're naughty now. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's both of those. Like, I've had both of those, like, go through my head.
Mm-hmm.
Hey you're naughty now.
Yeah, I like
you know
that.
What this sounds?
That's something Austin Powers would say.
You know what they sound like? It's like Velvet Revolver without swag.
Ooh,
like they're kind of a wimpy Velvet Revolver. Is their whole thing.
The tour is going to be Velvet Revolver, and then it's going to be like Switchfoot, and then the Exies. Like that's the.
And I'm fucking going.
Yeah,
but I'm showing up
going.
Late.
Hey, we're all
I'm
going.
skipping the Exies because Switchfoot and Velvet Revolver go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they remind me of them.
Should we move on to our next entry? So
yes.
These next few, I'm going all in order because something fascinating happens at the midpoint of this game where you have, right after the Exies, a band that I've never really thought of as a guitar band. You have Incubus with Stellar, which
sure.
I don't know. This one always just puzzled me because there's nothing really going on with this song guitar wise either. It's like it mostly just feels like it's here to like give a mid game like mood shift if anything. The fucking space keyboard synth like sound effect there, which is not in the original, is like one of the weirdest additions in any of these. But I don't know. Like,
what's the pod opinion on Incubus?
I'm not an Incubus head.
I forget the songs the second they're done, except for Pardon Me, which I like. And I think I like this one.
So like when we were doing the Butt Rock series, Blake, we ended up talking like about like a bunch of Incubus songs because a bunch of them went number one. Drive, great song. We love Drive. Pardon Me, I like Pardon Me.
Yeah.
I don't think that was number one, but all the like mid 2000s, late 2000s Incubus stuff that we talked about was so bad, and it was so funny because Alex going into that series, like, I'm such a big Incubus fan, and then like we are watching the life drain from their eyes as we kept talking about Incubus.
George W. Bush
like, wait a second, is this song not actually good?
I want to preface this by saying I think I may have really terrible taste in music, but like the older I get, the more I'm like, wait, Incubus was fucking really good / interesting. Like A Crow Left for the Murder, I'm like, that was a cool record to be coming out in that era. But like, I think I might just have dog shit taste in music.
I just don't remember
I
it.
really like Incubus. I really like them.
You know what I do? Actually, you know what I remember about Incubus? My high school English teacher made us analyze the lyrics to Wish You Were Here. And so now, like, I can't take that song seriously. I'll just, like, post a fucked up picture of me while like, I dig my toes into the sand. The ocean looks like a backlit canopy or whatever.
I think Incubus is like artsy 311. I think that's their whole thing.
So I agree with that for sure. Yeah. I agree with that for sure.
And I like 311 a lot.
I like 311 too.
Further showing I may have terrible taste in music, but
I thought it was fucked up that the internet took him to task after the Tiny Desk concert. I thought that was fucked up. I didn't think 311 had that coming.
They sound
Also
fun.
hilarious. I mean, you had 311 on 311. Like, come on.
Yeah, come
like,
on.
Yeah.
You would think after they were on Eric Andre that people would finally like realize this band is cool. Like,
Yeah.
This really
fucking
is,
again,
yeah,
so many
no,
lames.
This is like a thinking man's 311.
Yeah, it's got the like 311 like bass bit especially. But no, this was a like band or like I never really listened to Incubus. I mostly just listened to the song, and I like did the thing when I was a kid where I like threw all the songs in these games onto my iPod. And like this was the only song I'd heard for like the longest time, and like I don't know. I remember like even then like I was like I liked it, but it just felt kind of weird in the game to me. And as I've like grown older, it just kind of feels a little like flaccid compared to like a lot of this other, even like some of the like boring but like more loud, high energy guitar songs here. I do think that it is very funny. Earlier today, I was remembering that when I was a kid, I thought the chorus to this was, "How do you do it? You make me feel like a dude," which maybe explains a lot about like stuff in my history.
Yeah, that's I just don't know what any, like, this is like legitimately the song just ended and I couldn't tell you anything about it, how it goes, what the lyrics were like. It's just it's a pleasant wave that washes over me, like I dig my toes into the sand and I let Incubus wash over me.
And Stellar is a sensory deprivation chamber of a song.
I'm on Incubus's Spotify, and Incubus, again, a band I like quite a bit, with several albums I like quite a bit. Stellar, not up there in my favorite songs, was the only Incubus song I've liked on Spotify.
Wow.
Interesting.
And crucial to note, I don't like songs on Spotify, so it's one of like 4 songs. I guess I was
You're
just
like,
really
damn, this one's hidden.
I don't really add songs to my liked folder.
awesome.
It's just
Blake is listening to Stellar and going, "How do you do it? You make me feel like I do."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. Also in there is Appetite for Paradise City, so that's about what I'm
Hell
working
yeah.
with. On my
Well, hell yeah,
liked
of course.
songs.
We will be talking
Down
Guns
to
N'
the
Roses.
Paradise City where
Yeah.
the girls are bringing the bird up Betty.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they do? I know Slash is in Guitar Hero 3, but was there like a
Yes.
Guns N' Roses, like a Guitar Hero Guns N' Roses or anything?
I don't know. There was
I don't.
Okay.
I can't.
It's just they got all the like big songs in eventually because
Well,
they
they-
did.
they-
Welcome to the Jungle is in that one.
Sick.
Sweet Child of Mine's in 2.
And then the
What,
did
Dr.
they do
Pepper
Paradise City?
fiasco, the Dr. Pepper fiasco with Rock Band. That's what
What?
killed.
Wait.
Or, whoa.
Tell
The
me.
Dr. Pepper fiasco.
So when Chinese Democracy came out,
Oh yeah.
you were supposed to get a free Dr. Pepper. And they put
Okay.
Shackler's Revenge in Rock Band 2. I forget how they link. Maybe they don't. Maybe I just conflate the two in my brain. But
Mhm.
I'll tell you this. Nobody got a free Dr. Pepper when Chinese Democracy came out. So Guns N' Roses sued Dr. Pepper. So it's fuck Dr. Pepper.
It's crazy because they just overtook Pepsi as like the second most popular soda in America.
Ooh, how do you feel about that?
Which
Matt?
Hell
is-
yeah, damn right.
Which is fucked up. Again, Pepsi phantoms, Pepsi, we will rise. Okay, we're gonna sit back in the shadows and we'll watch it burn. All right, we'll watch Dr. Pepper burn. You know,
Okay.
again, you can't have 23 flavors. Okay, it's not sustainable. All right, they're gonna run out of something
Mhm.
for one of those flavors, and it's gonna get changed, gonna get fucked up. But the Pepsi formula, it's gonna stay strong. It's gonna stay.
Okay.
I
Whole.
want to point out
Okay.
after Natalie, I'd like to point something out about the website we're on.
I was just gonna say real quick, how come there hasn't been an RxK nephew line about how come there's 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you all remember Dr. Pepper's, or maybe they just sponsored it, but the Band in a Bubble thing they did with the pop punk band Cartel?
What
Where
the
you would
fuck are you
know?
talking about?
Watch dude, look up Band in a Bubble. This has like been burned in my memory since I was a child. You would go and they had like a constant live feed of Cartel, which was like a pretty cool band, writing, I think, their sophomore record. It was the one after
Okay, this
the
is pretty sick.
Yeah, and so I think you would buy Dr. Pepper's or Mountain Dews, and then you would get like minutes to watch them recording.
Oh my god, it's the fucking G4 guy.
Yeah,
What's his fucking name?
Which one?
that's.
I'm on the Wikipedia.
I'm sure his name is Blair. They were all named Blair,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, Blair Herter?
Maybe, yeah.
So I just wanted to point out, Matty was on the Guitar Hero Wikipedia, and I thought it was fucked up when Blake wasn't cited on the Wikipedia page for Guitar Hero. But if Blake is not cited anywhere on the actual Guitar Hero fan Wikipedia, that is fucked up to a degree that I'm not comfortable with.
We will get Blake his justice.
I thought my story was pretty definitive, but however, other people seem to disagree. But yeah, this band in a bubble thing is like burned into my skull, and like to this day, this has been the better part of 20 years later.
Oh, they have the ads in there,
dude.
God.
It's been the
again.
better.
I legitimately important to like have this fully recorded, like to see the ads. Legitimately important.
It's genuinely like my favorite bit of like any kind of like archival shit on the internet is I need that like period specific advertisement.
I also think like there is too little stuff like this where like you could just watch an album be created, and the fact that they live streamed like the entire creation of a record is like so cool. Nearly 20 years later, I'm like, I wish they would do Band in a Bubble again. Like I would watch a band do it.
Bring it back, Dr. Pepper. Pepsi, if you're looking to get back to number 2, we got an idea for you.
What is a current band you would want to put in the bubble?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of, like, again, a current band that I think would work well under those constraints. I feel like a band that would probably, like, I'm just being realistic, a band that I think would do it, probably like Turnstile. I could see Turnstile doing a Band in the Bubble kind of thing. You know, like I can picture it in my mind of minds. Yeah. And they'd be sponsored by Bud Light Seltzer. Bud Light Seltzer presents Band in the Bubble.
It would be like a hard seltzer brand now, wouldn't it? Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it would be
Liquid Death would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
My realistic answer, even their hometown boys, would be Knocked Loose because they.
I was gonna say.
I think that would be cool. My real answer is Joan of Arc. I just want to watch those freaks write a record.
Be very funny.
Like, I think Knocked Loose would like maybe do it, and they're also big enough that like that would be really interesting. I think they only write in a room together, which is like pretty rare for most bands these days. So I would watch that for sure.
Yeah, I was like, let's just pull up the Riot Fest and take your pick. Really, yeah. I guess we should probably move on to the next song, right? Matty's just looking at the Wikipedia page for a Cartel album.
This is the album. This is the album they recorded, Gavin. Which is funny because it's like he's like, this is the best thing that ever happened to us. A platform this big can show the world that real bands still exist. There's no outside producer, no hidden magic, just us writing and recording. It beats the heck out of being in college. And then the next sentence, however, he later admitted that the event was a marketing stunt.
What? Dude, that Cartel. God, sorry.
No, I'm gonna go into a different area. So.
That Cartel record before the Band in a Bubble record is really good. So shout out friends of the show, Cartel.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say here is that this would never happen because you would have to like, in order to get like a band of this magnitude, like to do anything like this again, you kind of have to like hold them all by gunpoint. But like, can you imagine if Metallica was in the Band in a Bubble?
Have you seen the 3-hour documentary, A Year and a Half in the Life of Metallica?
Get into this.
It's legitimately, I think, one of the most important music documentaries in history.
Are you talking about some kind of monster?
No. A Year and a Half in the Life of Metallica.
Yeah, different one.
The documentary crew follows them for the entire recording of the Black Album and the entire world tour afterwards. It is like so...
It's insane.
Crazy that it exists. I watch it once a year. Like I love that thing.
I think a double feature of this and say
4 hours.
Some kind of monster so it's an experience. It's long as fuck, but
it's incredible that it exists.
But before we move on, I want to quickly say the Liquid Death Band in a Bubble would be Military Gun, and it'd be live streamed on Twitch, and I Show Speed would show up at some point, and it'd be really weird and embarrassing.
Dude, you're right. Yeah. You're so right, Gavin. You are completely right.
Post Malone would come through, but Post Malone's a Military Gun fan, so. But yeah, shouts out.
Is Post Malone cool? Like,
probably. I don't know.
Is he still cool? Like,
aside from the Morgan Wallen thing, he's a pretty cool dude.
I thought he was real cool than the Morgan Wallen thing, and it's like, I don't know.
Actually, you know who'd be a good Band in a Bubble, now that you mentioned like hardcore bands, is Gel. I think Gel would be sick in the
That would be cool,
It would be a band that's been in a Taco Bell commercial.
Well, Gel had the famous, like, they performed in a Sonic parking lot for like 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Or, maybe Scowl. I feel like Scowl has like that mainstream approach, or that mainstream appeal.
Okay, we should not keep.
We gotta
circling,
consult Jay. We gotta consult Jay for this one.
Actually, after going to prepare the ground, I'm safe to say like Two Mold would do it, because like Two Mold, when we saw them, came out in fucking like they all had different like basketball jersey tank tops, but the guitarist, who we've dubbed like the anime like weeb boyfriend like guitarist, came out in a fucking Hunter like tank top, like basically like made to look like a basketball jersey. Like that is the kind of band that would do that shit.
I do think the problem with it, this is my last thought on this band.
We have a lot of thoughts on this.
Band of the Bubble is so sick. It is the first time I've been given a platform to talk about Band of the Bubble in my entire life. I do think the problem with it, and I don't mean this as a diss to any band, because 2024, I understand how these things work. You'd have to find a band that writes music together instead of on a computer, which like I do wish more bands like just live streamed their like DAW and be like, here's how I write riffs. But like you'd have to find a band that be like, we actually write in a room together, which is probably not the easiest thing anymore. I don't know.
Yeah,
it would be fucking Fiddler. Let's be real.
It would be Fiddler.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Don't hate. They're good.
I think
I got bad taste in music.
No hate for me, Blake.
Okay,
the thing is, that first album goes.
I like their post-sobriety records too. Like I think that shit has some real hits on it. That dude, he went through it. I'm a sober man, so I can relate to it. Yeah.
No, that second album is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like there's some like weird duds, but like the good stuff is good.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of real rock and roll bands,
oh man.
We're talking about a band that I know like next to nothing about. I'm just putting this on here because this is just one of those songs that you hear it when you're 11 and you kind of, it just like occupies a weird space in your brain's real estate and you don't know why. It's Heart Full of Black, Burning Brides. I don't really know how I feel about this one. But I'm just gonna, I think, start off by reading a number of bands that they have opened for or toured with. The White Stripes, and you will know us by the Trail of the Dead.
Whoa.
Queens of the Stone Age, Audio Slave, A Perfect Circle, Mastodon, Eagles of Death Metal, Peaches, Melvins, Marilyn Manson.
What?
Wow.
They feel like a perpetual opening band, is I think that's what I think of when I hear this. Like, they're a band that you kind of like see do a 30 to 45 minute set and you've got like a beer in your hand and you're maybe not really paying attention. You're just kind of like waiting for time to slowly go by, and then when it ends you're like, that was fine, I guess, and then you kind of just forget they exist by the time that the headliner goes on. I think this is the worst cover. This vocalist is
pretty tough.
This sounds like Chris Jericho's band. This sounds like Fozzy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think someone, not me because I'm too lazy to even buy a computer, let alone do this, should make something that I'm deeming the best rock song ever, and it's the vocal track from this song, the guitar track from Wolfmother, Joker and the Thief, and the bass from Jet, Are You Gonna Be My Girl, and then it's just Hot for Teacher Van Halen drums, all layered together, not adjusted for tempo or anything. It's just the best rock song ever. It's just, and I want to be the vocals from this cover, not the original. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it, but the guy from this band's in fucking Off now, which is so fucking funny.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
His
name is fucking Dimitri Coates.
He performed guitar. He played guitar on Chris Cornell's 2007 album Carry On and performed the theme song to the. Oh, just on Jay Leno. Never mind.
Huh.
What an interesting.
He's also in Grand Theft Auto 5. So there you go.
Way to go. This is real rock and roll, basically. There was an era of like guys who wore a certain type of hat and listened to this, and Airborne and all that shit.
Yeah.
I do have a good fact now that Blake directed me to this guy's Wikipedia page. His most prominent role is Queenie, the lead villain in rock and roll vampire comedy Suck from 2009.
I have seen that.
The film also has Malcolm McDowell, Dave Foley, Alice Cooper, Iggy Pop, Henry Rollins, Jessica Paré, and Moby.
Yeah, me and Grant have seen it.
What's up with those like random shitty movies that'll have like a ton of like famous rock dudes in it? Like, have y'all ever seen Tim Armstrong's?
It's a favor to a friend.
Have you ever seen Tim Armstrong's like stop motion animation film about Charles Manson?
No. I have not. What the hell?
It stars like literally every punk rocker who ever lived. Like and it's a musical too, so it's like the dudes from Green Day and AFI all doing like original songs for. It's called Live Freaky, Die Freaky. Easily one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it has a great soundtrack because it's like full of like 90s like mall punk musicians. It's crazy.
We're getting dangerously into we can't talk about this territory, but have you seen the Fat Mike musical that he wrote?
No.
Like,
no,
it is legit. It is. I don't even recommend it. Ironically, it is so fucking bad. Punk rock legend Burning Brides.
Yeah.
Probably not affiliated, but I guess you're an off now, which I don't know how you got that gig, but that's crazy. Shout Anthony Kiedis' favorite hat of all time, off.
You got to do something to like keep from like idly burning out. I forgot that the fucking Rocket from the Crypt Hot Snakes drummer is an off. That's wild.
Oh, that's right.
The weirdest pull. Anyway, the one thing that I can say here is I fully memory hold it so that this I thought that this song had an uncensored goddamn in it. Like that was my like memory of this song in Guitar Hero 1. And I don't know if it's just the video that I pulled or if I'm just like totally misremembering. I wasn't misremembering it with some of the later songs that we'll get to, but like I just remember as a kid being like, whoa, can they do that in a like T-rated video game?
And it turns out
anyway,
they cannot.
That might not even be the case.
Yeah, not a lot to say. But, just a representative of the real rockers for this one.
Hell yeah.
That's the thing, is that this tier is kind of a perfect like indication of like the balance, because you start with Queen and then you get into three bands from the like late 90s, early 2000s that represent the range of like different forms of rock that that era took. And then you close out the third set with Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth, which like I'm not gonna front, good song. Some Megadeth is good. Dave Mustaine is the stupidest man on earth, but like the thing is, some Megadeth is good. I'm not gonna deny.
I would say a lot of Megadeth is good, and it's unfortunate that Dave has given his life to the Lord.
Peace Sells is a good fucking album. I think it is better than like a good majority of like a lot of like classic thrash records.
Yeah,
like, personally speaking.
Rust in peace. Got my ass looking up at the sky, wondering, damn, what they spraying on us right now.
But we've come to the end of our main set list stuff for this episode, because Guitar Hero 1 features 6 tiers. Where for clean division, we're dividing it into 3 tiers this episode, 3 tiers the next one, and we're going to split the difference with some of the bonus songs that we have in Guitar Hero, which Blake, I'm sure you could add further context here, but essentially, like, to fill out a lot of this, it was a lot of asks from like bands that either people at Harmonix knew or people were in Harmonix were involved in, because we have a lot of like Harmonix bands. We're gonna have a lot of recurring characters here, a lot of like prominent guys that come back up, which makes up a lot of the selection here. But going through all of these is too much to note. But Blake, do you want to add anything
For sure.
onto that?
I think the quality of the songs, notwithstanding, they're like one of the sick things about Harmonix is like they were lifers. Like those are real dudes that like played in bands, toured in bands. A lot of them still play in bands. A lot of them did like tour posters. Like they were about it, which like gave, I think, like it's funny to look back on it nearly 20 years later and like see kind of how goofy it is. Like there was like a little bit of legitimacy in Guitar Hero 1. Like you even had to kind of do a power chord formation on some of the harder difficulties. Like, so I think the sickest thing ever is them being like, we need more music. Oh, let's put our own bands in there. And it like kind of made little sub careers for a lot of these dudes. Like because these games were so fucking popular, so many people heard these songs, and it was like the iTunes era. So many people bought these songs that like, I think some of these bands like some of these bands played shows way bigger than they ever would have if they hadn't just been like, fuck, we need 10 more songs in this game. Like, I think it's really cool. And I think like it's cool that Harmonix kept that as a tradition in all those games when they, after basically the first game, had no need to ever do that again. Like they still like repped their own bands in an awesome way.
All right, put Merrily March and Fortnite Festival Harmonix, all right?
Yes.
Well, spoilers, he is in Rock Band 4, so...
Yeah, we are going to maybe talk about Barely March later on.
Yeah. He's gonna fucking hate that so much.
I want to add on to what Blake is saying. First of all, Matty scrolled down to the comment section for Bernie Brad's
hell yeah,
I'm sorry to go back to this, but on that cover, top comment, better than the original, much more oomph.
It needed more. I'm always saying songs need more oomph in them.
That's like an LCJ comment. Like, this movie needed more oomph in
LCJ,
it. Too chatty, needs more oomph.
What was the movie he said that he complained there was a Rokk song in the credits recently?
I feel like it was a hip hop song, not a rock song.
He said Rokk song in the credits.
All right, hold on. I'll look this up. The problem is if I search LCJ Rokk on Twitter, it's just going to be a bunch of fucking bullshit about his children's book.
Oh, fuck, dude.
God damn it.
Rocky the Rock.
While this is going on, I want to add to Blake's thing in that I have like an interesting kind of like history with a lot of the bands here, because Harmonix famously was a project that started in MIT, and I spent 5 years in Boston, and that was also where I got like my music journalism start, was like doing Boston music blogging and just being just an otherwise like Boston showgoer. So it like ended up being a thing where I kind of ended up like finding like the ways in which some of these bands are still active, and I'll get into that with one of these bands that we're going to talk about today, because I do actually have like some history and stories to talk about here. But yeah, no, it's really cool how like even into like when Harmonix does rock band stuff, you see a lot of these bands like still popping up there and like still showing up as like bonus songs in that, and they're just kind of still carrying through no matter how successful the games get. And you see people who like develop like little fan bases for some of the bands that like occur multiple times throughout here, because like some of these bands we will talk about basically every time that they come up, because they're like, especially compared to some of the like really obvious like gets for these games, some really interesting cuts like that set themselves apart from the rest of them. But I don't feel that way about this first song that we have here, which I kind of had to include as like we gotta do it, we gotta talk about it, we gotta talk about the song Guitar Hero in the game Guitar Hero,
of course,
by Monkey Steals the Peach. Basically the end credits movie song that explains the movie song about the video game.
Yeah.
Like they say, I'd forgotten until I was playing this back today, there's a bit where they're like, yeah, you gotta use star power like in the song. This fucking sucks.
They're giving you tips as you play the game. I feel like that's good. That's good gameplay design.
I'm not mincing words. This is probably the least favorite of the like bonus songs we're talking about here.
Sure.
Wait, Gavin, is this your favorite? You threatened.
Oh no, fuck no.
You threatened this earlier. Okay.
This is just like the TV credits. You know, it's just the theme song to Guitar Hero. You know.
Okay.
It serves its purpose, but I would never listen to this if I didn't have to.
I'm gonna check this out in a second, but yeah, Blake, continue.
Have we been live streaming this entire time?
No. Yeah, we're not live anywhere. Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, sound off in chat right now if you're fucking with Guitar Hero. Monkey like, flings the poop or whatever.
I had not looked at Matty's screen. I just had it like in the background,
like an
just
infinite
listening
Blake
to
vortex happening here.
Yeah, there is.
Oh man, sorry.
Okay, so I do have some background here. Monkey Steals the Peach is a band created specifically for this game. This is their only song.
Let's go. Is this not WaveGroup? Is this just like some Harmonix employees?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah. And
most of the bonus songs.
Yeah. I believe the name is like a euphemism or something. I can't remember what it is, but it's like an in-joke. Monkey Steals the Peach. Great podcasting.
Right, I forgot to talk about the fucking
what I'm talking about, but
loading screen.
Oh yes, of course.
My computer totally froze on me, so I'll just get to it when I get to it. Here we go. Okay. Guitar Hero, Monkey Steals the Peach is a Harmonix supergroup. It is made up of 3 artists and a producer, Swid Sweaterick.
Oh.
Swid Sweaterick. I'm sorry, that name. Ryan Lesser, Jason Kendall, Daniel Sussman. Very boring loading screen, but whatever. It gets the point across.
Yeah.
It's Harmonix, guys. Yeah, I mean, like, this serves its function. It's just kind of a boring song. Like, there's nothing really to write home about. The only thing I can think about with this song is, Matty, I might send it to you later, but I might, like, try to do, like, a little, like, guest intro by clipping out the opening riff or something. I don't know. I'm workshopping this live on air. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah. We only had this in the works for, like, 2 years or something like that, right?
Yeah. Only had 2 years to get it right. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about this. I don't know why I put it here.
We had to. We had to. We
kind of had to.
Yeah.
All right. Now that that's over, we finished. The song's over. The video's over. Let's move on to something a lot more interesting, at least personally. Matty, can you please hit play on our next song? Let me cue up the intro here. Fans of previous Harmonix games will recognize Synthpop Masters Freezepop. Bet you didn't expect them in this game. Which, like, of the bands here that we're going to talk about today, Freezepop are the coolest to me. Like, you have this, like, just, like, absolutely unapologetic, like, synth-pop, like, throwback band, and, like, throwing down, like, alongside all these other bands, and it, like, songs like this, like, make it clear, like, why they are, like, still being included, even if they're, like, not really in the, like, expected, like, run of songs. Like, I'm just looking at the chart that Matty is playing now, and this is, like, not letting up, like, the entire way through.
It would be crazy if I was actually playing this. Like, it'd be crazy if I was, like, actually playing this live.
Boring podcast. Yeah. It's just footage of Matty playing.
Boring-ass episode. I was going to say, I know Freezepop because, get your shot glasses ready. Of course, the famous Mega 64 series, Cosplayers, uses a Freezepop song.
Hell yeah. Which one?
I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Because I can't remember what the song is, but, like, the Cosplayers videos are classics. I love them.
But, yeah.
I love that my number one, by the way, my number one recommended video on YouTube right now, Peter Gabriel's Steam.
Hell yeah.
Just had to mention that.
But yeah, Freezepop is, like, I think the platonic ideal of, like, what this game did for bands like them, in the sense that, like, here's a band that, like, basically was only known to people who had played previous Harmonix games, and, like, to, like, give away, like, my, like, background, I interviewed Freezepop as part of that, like, Boston blog, shout out Alston Pudding, because they still, like, lived and played shows in Boston, like, all the time when I lived there. And they, like, continue to be sick. Like, they're, like, one of the bands on here where, like, I have listened to, like, multiple albums of theirs, and they're, like, a good, solid band with, like, very listenable, like, albums. And, yeah, like, they talked to me about, like, how part of what this game and, like, the series did was basically, like, give them an opportunity to, like, have exposure on a degree that they just were not expecting, and, like, essentially, like, put them on the map on, like, an international sense in a way, like, this very unexpected way that, like, could not have happened on, like, any other kind of, like, licensed game front. I also, when I was moving away from Boston, my very last interaction with Freezepop was coming across Liz Enthusiasm, the singer of Freezepop, while she was walking her dog past the house I was moving out of in Somerville, Massachusetts. So shout out. Yeah, they're real ones. Their last album from, like, 2020 fucking rocks, honestly. That was the one I interviewed them for. Also, this Iron Man riff is very fun.
Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, it's a good song.
Not my favorite Freezepop song that we'll talk about.
I agree with that.
We have the big one is coming up in Guitar Hero 2, and that is kind of like the one where it's like, if you mention Freezepop to anybody, like, that
lots
is,
of
like,
big
going
bonus
to be the one.
Lots of big bonus songs coming up in Guitar Hero 2.
Spoiling this for everybody, the bonus songs of Guitar Hero 2 are so loaded that basically we have an entire episode devoted to them. Mm-hmm. Like, that is, like, iconic shit on top of iconic shit.
It's a good song.
Blake, do you have anything to add here? I want to make sure you get in.
No, shouts out to Cass and Croker, who used to play in that band.
Yes, yeah. All right, so for our next song, Matty, scroll on the playlist. What do we got here? We've got, another Boston, like, mainstays, in the sense that, like, so I never ended up, like, seeing Count Zero when I lived in Boston, but they were still, like, playing shows. Like, I would occasionally, like, get fucking updates from the, like, fan page I forgot that I liked back in high school, where they were like, yeah, we're playing a show in Boston. But, like, kind of underrated band. I don't know. I've never listened to, like, or I have listened to a full album from them. They're fine. Like, they're pretty solid, but, like, I kind of like the, like, very just, like, unapologetic, like, sense of, like, weird, like, new wavy, like, melodicism that's going on with a lot of their stuff. And, like, I think of the songs that they have in these games, this is my favorite, I think. I don't know, I like the progression that this one goes through a lot. Like, the second half of the song is, like, really fun and, like, goes in, like, some unexpected places.
I'm just very fixated on the moody slide guitar in this song. A couple of weeks ago, I found a YouTube video that was a reaction video to the song One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer by George Thorogood. And the thumbnail was a guy, like with both hands on his head, mouth open. And there was text on the thumbnail that said, he's using the tool to refer to the slide that he was using. And I really thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Me when I'm playing Parabola and Guitar Hero World Tour, he's using the tool.
We're going to make that thumbnail. I'm gonna find that picture real quick. But that's all I could focus when I was listening to this song, because I'm unfamiliar with it. This is a very interesting song. There's a lot going on in this one.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how this has more playable synth parts than the Freezepop song.
Yeah.
I did not realize that until I was, like, watching this specific video. But yeah, this is the most interesting to me, just in terms of the fact that there's, like, some interesting decisions happening. We'll get into it because I think I put Radium Eyes in our Guitar Hero 2 playlist. But that's one where it's like, that's a solid song, but it's like not making decisions or ideas like this one is. I don't know. They're an interesting band to me. They kind of occupy, like, very similar, like, Honest Bob territory in my brain.
I found it. I'm gonna post it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, this is the sound. This is definitely, like, again, I mean, this is very complimentary. Like, definitely, like, your best local band. You know,
yeah,
but, like, your best local band that is never gonna reach past the level of local band.
Yeah, and that's kind of the area that they occupied in Boston, in the sense that, like, they were just kind of like that band that would occasionally do, like, basically, like, bar shows. And not really, like, ever have, like, because, like, Freezepop would be the kind of band where it was like they would play, like, actual, like, venue network shows. Like, they would play, like, fucking 500 cap rooms and sell that shit out. But, like, I never saw that with Count Zero. And I think it's mostly because, like, usually it would be like they would have, like, the one or two, like, hardcore fans, but they never really, like, evolved past, like, the songs that were, like, known in these games the way that, like, Freezepop did. Playing the fucking trumpet.
Oh my god. Also, I gotta love these character models. I gotta love the
that's Izzy Sparks we're talking
animations.
About. Our main cast. We didn't even talk about the characters that they made for these games that we were going to all come to know and love.
I feel like we're gonna have to do an episode just about the art and characters and something like that. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out something to do with that.
Lock it behind the Patreon.
Yeah, I agree. A bonus, like a tier list or something.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
We should do that with the rejected idea, or, like, the idea that I put in the spreadsheet ages ago because you floated it as, like, an offhand thing, and every time I mention it, that you just kind of ignore it, which is talking about the South Park episode.
Oh shit, we do need to do that. Yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, kind of aside about, like, the game's, like, cultural force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, funky with it.
Yeah. Again, like, doing that little, like, phrase just for, like, the last 4 measures is, like, that's kind of fun. I like that. I like it when songs make decisions and have ideas. And, What do we got next? I'm sorry. I don't remember the order I put these in. We got Hey. Okay. So yeah. Hey. So speaking of recurring guys, this is one that's gonna pay off in the long run. It's he's using a tool.
Sorry, yeah, I just love the thumbnail.
No, this is great. Thank you, Gavin. Honest Bob and the Factory to Dealer Incentives are another one of those bands that are like going to become like characters. They don't seem that interesting right now, but just you wait until they pay it off in like a later Rock Band game that's going to come like several dozen episodes later, because yeah, I don't know, maybe it feels a little like I'm kind of like careful about what I'm trying to say here, because I know that these bands are like small and never really had like huge fan bases and are also basically just like side projects from like game developers. But like, I don't know, like we'll get into it with like I Get By, but like I don't know, some of the lyrics here, they feel a little like I could totally see them being like kind of taken as like proto incel-y. I don't really know.
I mean, I Get By's the Hall of Famer here. Ignoring the lyrics, this is the song that I picked as the best in my listen this week.
You are very real. Yeah, this is basically a power pop song. Yeah.
Yes. This band's opening for Young Gov nowadays.
Wait, so you're telling me that Gavin likes the power pop song the most?
You're telling me I like the catchy song with lots of... It sounds like Ovens, if like Ovens like cared to record on like equipment that worked or whatever. Tony Molina, but with worse guitar, because Tony Molina's great.
I think it's got a good vibe.
It's got a really good vibe.
I fuck with it.
All right, that's okay. So I was gonna do the loading screens, but like there aren't really that many like interesting ones in this game. Well, we'll get into them with the next game, because I'm gonna basically table it, because yeah, there's not really a lot of like great ones.
We needed
a lot of them are very to the point.
That handsome devil to come with the heat and the loading screens.
Yeah, that handsome devil one is like iconic. You see that once and it never leaves your brain.
He always does weird little like half riffs, Honest Bob, I've noticed. Like half segments that like kind of don't resolve. Interesting choice.
Fun fact, there is no one named Bob in Honest Bob.
Well, not very honest, are we? Comedy Bang Bang ass reply to that information.
Yeah, more like dishonest Bob.
Let him know, Matty.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to point out the truth.
Yeah, Hey is fine. I think Hey is solid. It's not my favorite Honest Bob song, but Honest Bob will return. We're putting a pin. We're putting a pin in Honest Bob, putting a pin in Freezepop, putting a pin in Count Zero. Honest Bob, I'm gonna say it now and just spoil this. I did cut Soy Bomb from Guitar Hero 2.
That's fine.
Guitar Hero 2's bonus tracks are so loaded that I could cut the Honest Bob song that doesn't have any lyrics. Like, Soy Bomb is just like a solid instrumental, but like, is it on the level of like a Hey or an I Get By? Not really. It's just there. It's like an absolute constant. But for these last two are going in an interesting place, because I
that's
think,
for sure.
What I think is really interesting about the bonus tracks in the Guitar Hero games is you have the ones that kind of you don't see coming and aren't really known, but they kind of like throw you for a loop and kind of stick in the brain in like really interesting and idiosyncratic ways. And those are the good bonus songs. I'm gonna say it, I kind of like this one. I've come down on this, but it's also kind of weird. It's kind of weird that this song is in this. This is Shaimus with all of this.
Wait, the wrestler is a band too?
No.
Shaimus is one of the only bands here that has a blue hyperlink on their Wikipedia page.
That's crazy. But I guess they didn't make more than one song.
Here's great. Shaimus appears in the Leighton Meester horror movie, The Roommate.
Oh shit! Oh. I saw that in theaters.
I was gonna say, this just sounds like
Weezer.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in that
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
dude.
it's Weezer.
It's in like this, the post Weezer. Like I was gonna say, like we have OK Go at home.
Ooh, that's a good.
Go
Yeah,
this is already OK Go. You know,
if there's two things that this game's bonus tracks love to do, it's power pop and like dour metal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, I gotta point this out. The character model on the bass
not
is
a fan
fucking,
of this.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that guy. I don't. Does he have a name in the game files? Because he appears in like all through 3.
Scruffy.
Like it literally looks like the way that he's moving. He is like trying to like find the pierce in the space-time continuum. Like I feel like he's just gonna blip out of existence at any moment. The way that he's moving.
Okay, this solo is sick. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah,
it's a good solo.
I'm trying to become him.
So I'm guessing Shaimus is another like Boston area band.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much all of these are Boston area. I will say an interesting anecdote about the bonus tracks is I did not include it here, or maybe I did put it in the next episode. I can't remember, but there's a Black Label Society song in the bonus tracks, which you might think is kind of weird because, like, again, they're not really a harmonics band, but apparently it was basically something that Zakk Wylde himself like requested the band do, and it was completed 2 weeks before the game shipped.
That's sick.
But yeah, I don't know. I like this. I've come down on this. I'm a good sucker for like nice catchy power pop.
I got no beef with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very flavorless, but it's there and it's fun. So that's Shaimus. That's all of this. I just wanted to throw it there because I was like, kind of interesting that this is here among these songs. Even more conspicuous and strange of what is among these songs. Our last song today, Blake, I'm really deeply curious to know like your own familiarity with all the stuff we're about to get into on this. We might be going for a while on this next band. This is the Upper Crust. Eureka, I Found Love, which I don't think I ever played this song when I played Guitar Hero 1. This is the most fascinating band that we've talked about this entire episode.
I'm gonna say I'm wholly unfamiliar.
Let me read the opening paragraph of the Wikipedia page. The Upper Crust is an American hard rock band from Boston, Massachusetts. The members adopt the personae of 18th century aristocratic fops and sing songs from that perspective. They use titles of nobility, wear powdered wigs and period costumes, and maintain a snobbish attitude during live performance and on their albums. The members say that their guiding philosophy is, if not great and excellent, then debauched. The members' names of the Upper Crust, we have Lord Bendover, Count Basie, the Duck Distortion, Jackie Kickassis. Past members include Lord Rockingham and the Marquis de Rock. I wish I could preserve the looks that Gavin and Blake are giving me here right now. This is... I don't know what to say about this.
This is troubling. I did not know that when I was listening to this. I thought it was just a...
Gavin, I didn't know you knew! Yeah. You should... You need to look up live videos of them. I'm not saying this lightly, but it is like one of those things where you're like, yeah, this seems like a good idea to commit to, but at what cost? What are, like, to what end? What are you doing here? I will say before anything else, we lost Blake.
Oh yeah, okay. Blake is dealing with a little bit of lag. You know, turns out New York City does not have its perks of being inside that city. That gimmick is crazy. Like, is this the first pro-slavery band to exist? You know, like, I feel like that's definitely not true, but like, it feels true because it's like if you're doing like 1800s aristocratic characters, like. Okay, you're dipping into pro-slavery territory, you know?
Okay, Matty, I don't know how closely you've listened to this song, but I'm going to read the entire next verse. Get ready to bleep this.
Oh, no,
this is what
I have an idea where this is going, but I just need to confirm it. Natalie, go ahead.
The ancients oft depicted nudes in marble and cold and white, So why must you be such a prude when we could carve our love in stone tonight? Well, the ancients may have all been wearing sandals and shopping bags and chasing after every likely lad. You hear him saying, Eureka, I found love.
Wow. Don't like that.
Uncensored fag in this game. Uncensored slur. Blake, I'm so sorry. You look fucking horrified.
I may not have listened to all of the bonus songs when writing my in-depth piece. I may have skipped over a few, including this one. This is a live react from me.
Well, that's why you got the book now. Shit. That's why you've got the book now.
Yeah,
I did not know anything about this band like when I was putting these together, and was just idly listening through all of the bonus tracks. Was like pulling up anything I could on bands, and when I saw that this band had their own Wikipedia page, I I do what I do, where I idly was like, okay, I'm gonna click on it. Yes,
what
in 1995? Yes, they've been around. They have history. They were on Conan, they were on Craig Ferguson, they were on Codename Kids Next Door.
What the fuck?
An interesting thing about the guy who played guitar and sang from 95 to 97, Lord Rockingham, whose actual name is Ted Widmar, he is an American historian, writer, librarian, and musician who served as a speechwriter in the Clinton White House. That's a fun fact.
That's insane.
That's a fun fact about that guy.
Pizzagate is real. I
can't believe I found a band that broke Gavin.
That's
crazy.
This is so like Steel Panther upsets me. This is
wow.
I love gimmick bands. I fucking love bands that put on a silly costume and write songs. This is oh god, dude.
Literally speechless. Gavin is speechless.
Dude, I talked about how much I love Kiss earlier. Look at this.
This is
when I tell you when I made this discovery, I hung on to it with every shred of my being.
I thought
this was the thing where I was like, I can't believe I went so long not knowing this.
I thought this was just
I've become obsessed with this band.
I thought this was
I have not listened
a glam band that said a naughty word in Guitar Hero. I didn't. Dude. Also, there's a Diarrhea Planet level number of guitars on stage right now. There's so fucking many guys in this band.
Let's see, we got.
Where's the money coming from?
Okay, it's a 5-person band, but still 3 guitarists at least.
3 guitarists, 1 bassist, 1 drummer.
Are they I'm on Spotify.
Okay,
they only have
here's
179 monthly listeners. That can't be
crazy.
Here's the thing. When I started compiling these playlists, Eureka, I Found Love, and the album it was on were on there. When I started listening to them, they removed it. They caught on to my ass listening to this, and they were like, "We can't have this out there."
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, not on Spotify, because the actual record that's not crazy, but for essentially a pre-streaming band, it's not too bad. The only song that's survived is Badminton. I assume that's probably on some compilation, and that's why it stayed.
I have to I can't imagine what the investment for this band for the level of return is. This is a thing that you only happen when you have a game developer's income is a game developer with this amount of security in their job. Can you imagine what it's like to source these costumes and to apply this makeup with every single show you do?
You probably just get down to a science at a certain point, you figure out the process.
They got a set, they got fucking every member is a different costume. Dude, we saw the Chemical Clowns and we're like, these guys are going too hard for no payoff. I mean, they got interviewed.
Wait.
Dude, Letterman said, "Come to the couch, brother." Oh, they're gonna drop so many slurs.
I mean, that's what kind of blows my mind, that they have no cultural footprint.
Yeah.
Like that. There's
exactly who
like
is who here.
they
I
did
don't know
shit.
I am Lord Bendover.
No, this is like
Okay,
when
they're even doing the voices. I can't. Like,
you know when like the chicken nuggets kid got on
there are a
Ellen,
few other guys.
and we were all like, dude, society's so fucked up nowadays. This was the version of that before that.
the 90s were weird, man.
On lead guitar.
I did find an article on Boston.com that is about the band. I'm trying to archive.org it because it got pulled down.
Like, this is just this is a bit that would just be like a one episode bit on like a fucking Smosh Games video. How is this a band that got on national television?
I think it's just they must know some guys like
Absolutely.
in this, like
Gotta be.
they're really well connected.
Really enjoyed that. Thank you very much, both of you.
And also, again, I don't know any other bands like the Upper Crust that had this gimmick, you know?
Very nice to have you
No,
here.
this is like a totally original thing. Like I
Thanks to Larry Holmes. Give Larry
it's so
Holmes a
wild because I feel like let me see
Oh.
here. I'm gonna
Larry
Okay,
wasn't allowed to
so-
hang out.
Yeah.
okay, so the loading screen of this, I think this is why I like never really knew anything about them. The loading screen is incredibly vague. The loading screen just says Boston's upper crust are a tribute to men who wear tights all over the world, which does not explain anything.
Oh Jesus! Is there merch?
Oh, look how old they are.
Oh,
Old they are now.
Oh man,
that's
That's
depressing.
double-
sad.
I double checked.
Do they still play shows?
They have not played a show since 2017. So this episode,
Man.
this
Super
website
sucks.
has
Did
not been
woke
updated in
culture
a while.
kill the upper crust?
Wait,
I double.
hold on. They may have played. There's a music museum of New England. They're on that page. Okay, I'm gonna keep researching. Go ahead, Blake.
I double checked. It seems none of them were Harmonix developers.
Interesting.
Where's
I
the
think they
money?
were just like
The Clintons, the fucking Clintons.
yeah, it's probably what it was. Is honestly like they got that Clinton
Yeah.
money and didn't look back. I feel like it was just like a band that like the developers must have known. Like they were like friends because
Yeah,
they were Boston.
Definitely like a
people and
local,
in the
like
Boston music
again,
culture.
just
Yeah.
one of those band. I mean, again, I feel like because of course Boston Tea Party, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
that is definitely
course.
like a key inspiration for this. He mostly just
Matty,
Oh my
read
God.
the first post, the one at the very top.
This one,
No.
working on a song called "There's Vomit on the Moon." No
Yeah.
shortage of rhymes for moon, June, buffoon, raccoon, tune, etc. Pleasantly surprised to find out how many rhymes there are for vomit, comet, atomic, on it, promise, omelet,
Wow.
honest. Looking good so far. We'll update as to my progress. And that was back in
Oh.
December of last year. There's been no
How-
progress so far.
He's still
How-
cooking. He's still cooking.
How dare you, Natalie, drop this on episode 1 at the very end, knowing the rest of my goddamn week is going to be consuming upper crust everything until my brain falls out of my ears and I can't even podcast anymore.
That is the exact problem. Is that is exactly you've somehow fallen right into my trap. I
Fuck.
expected you would look into this beforehand and would
The
have.
slurs.
Yeah.
Wait, show me what they look at like in Candy. Show me what they look like. I need to know. Wait,
Of course, yeah, WMBR. Of course, they were on WMBR, but which makes sense. So definitely Boston band, because WMBR is that Harvard's radio station?
might be.
That's where Conan's
I'm
from.
trying to remember for sure. I should know this. I'm
Dude, if
literally
these
my
guys
job
went
is
to
college
Harvard,
radio.
we need to dismantle all colleges in this country.
Oh, MIT. It's MIT.
MIT, still
Hmm.
close enough.
Still, that's close
This
enough.
is starting to check out. I bet they were college friends with the
Mhm.
founders of Harmonix.
Yeah.
I bet that was it.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
pulled up their Candy appearance and it looks exactly as you would expect.
Let's see. There's no.
I will say,
Nope. Go ahead.
Widmar, who sang and played guitar in this band for 2 years, crucially when they did the Conan performance, did go to Harvard at one point.
Conan's
Ooh.
He got his AB, his AM, and his PhD in Harvard, from Harvard. So there
His
we go.
AB, AM, and PhD in the history of literature of France and the United States, and he was also
Oh, he was
editor
editor at the Harvard Lampoon.
Yeah,
That explains it.
Okay.
Conan's friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that
There we
makes
go.
sense.
Couldn't get a
There
job
we
at
go.
The Simpsons, so he had to do this.
Start a band.
Can you imagine a Simpsons episode penned by the guy who wrote Eureka, I Found Love?
Oh, dude.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
But this is I think the leaving it here is the epitome of what this series is going to be, in that you're going to have the most expected songs you've ever heard, and then you're going to have shit like this, which I'm usually going to drop as like the last thing, just to like completely upend and ruin Gavin's life, because
Man.
I need to have the upper hand. We're gonna have one of those next week. You'll Blake, you'll probably realize that like I left out a pretty crucial thing in the bonus tracks, but that's because I have an ace up my sleeve for next episode.
I heard the slur, and I thought that was the thing.
Like I said, when I made my slavery joke, I didn't think that this would be a band that actually said a slur. You know,
it's so funny that you got there before I did. It's kind of beautiful,
Man.
Sorry to make you like pick your brain up after that, but Blake, before we go, one thing that I thought would be, and I'm curious to see if Gavin had the same idea that I did, but I feel like eventually we're probably gonna do a like we did with the number ones, like some should have beens and like best of the cuts possibly, but I'm curious to get like each individual like guest who has like familiarity with the series, like if you could put one song like that would have happened like in the era in which these games ran from like 2005 to 2010, like do you have a go-to of like why was this not in Guitar Hero?
Oh man,
that was my idea. Yes.
Sorry, I now have to just like Google, was this song in Guitar Hero?
I've had that exact thing where I'm like, why was this not in it? And it was like some DLC song in like 2021. I'm like, that's fucking why.
So my first idea was in Guitar Hero 2. I mean, like the whole span of these games.
Since you're not familiar with all of them, we'll say in this one, a song you think should introduce people to the concept of Guitar Hero.
Oh, sure. I mean, I guess they did have a song in Guitar Hero 2 from this album. And apparently this song is in Warriors of Rokk, but whatever.
Yeah.
It should have been in Guitar Hero 1. Like, it's crazy it didn't make it. Maybe it was released only a couple months before, but it's like, whatever. Is Backcountry by Avenged Sevenfold. Would have been the sickest fucking song. Do the radio edit that doesn't have when they go back to the slow version at the end of the song, because that's always been whack. This is bad choice. I think it just came out too late to have been in the game, but like that would have been so perfect. And Beast and the Harlot is in Guitar Hero 2, and Backcountry made it into Warriors of Rokk. But it's like you would have caught that band right as they were on fire. Yeah.
I feel like they could have done like, is it Unholy Confessions? It's the one from like the album before that one. One was that one was also like a pretty big deal at the time. I feel like you could have thrown that in here.
I would be curious to know, because I remember Backcountry like really being popular when it came out. Like I remember it playing on MTV all the time. And you got to think Harmonix was like, what the hell? Like, damn, like the sickest fucking shred song in years comes out 2 months before our game comes out.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Avenged Sevenfold is a peak like band that I got into purely because they were like in every video game at the time, and that was like I remember something crucial that I didn't note is that they were also I was like deep in the like Guitar Hero like game facts forums like back in the day, and I remember when Guitar Hero 2 was like about to come out, people being like they should get Avenged Sevenfold like in this game. Like that was like the one of the like common refrains, and it was like
that sounds right.
Either like Backcountry or Beast and the Harlot, and then eventually they did get Beast and the Harlot in Guitar Hero 2, which we will talk about.
We will talk about
some nutty shit.
I'm sure Slipknot made it all over these games, but like Opium of the People has some of the sickest guitar riffs Slipknot ever did, and that was the year before Guitar Hero, so that would have been cool. Like,
they
like experting your way through the intro.
They eventually had Before I Forget in 3, but like there's so many Slipknot songs that could have like absolutely made it on here
for sure. So I'm gonna go Backcountry. Backcountry feels like such an unfortunate miss for that first game.
That's a good pick.
All right. Yeah.
And my pick for Dream Guitar Hero song.
Who the hell asked you?
I'm gonna butt in because this is the last episode that I'll be like a proper guest.
Okay,
So,
I understand.
Saying it now because I've been obsessed with the song for like months now. I was gonna say Guitar Hero Call Me Out Tonight. High Speed Call Me Out Tonight by ML Buke. I want to see a Clone Hero chart of that song, or really a couple of ML Buke songs. So like whoever does the charts for like Clone Hero and shit, get on it. I want to see it.
We will have, I'm spoiling it now, we will have a future guest who is a Clone Hero charter. So I'm
Nice.
gonna we will try to influence the masses. Maybe if this gets the traction that it should rightfully have, we will make some influence happen. Maybe someone from Harmonix will be listening to this. Who knows? The world is out there. But yes, Blake, do you want to plug your book one more time? Let people know what's up.
Sure. I have a book coming out called The Oral History of Guitar Hero, Rock Band, and the Music Game Boom. It's published through Thames and Hudson's Vertical Volume, which is their kind of like, they do like those ornate big box set books. So it's not just like a paperback you throw on your shelf. It comes in a slipcase. It has die cut pages modeled after the 5 buttons of a Guitar Hero controller. So it's like a really premium thing. We're also introducing some like more standard versions for people who, just care about the story, don't want all the extra stuff. But it's funding now on vol.co, vol.co. If you go there, it's the top banner thing. Please buy it. I'm really keen to write it. And
Metallica
I keep saying I'm writing a book
on Twitter. If you
yes,
or X, whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, you'll find it there.
I keep saying I'm writing a book, but if the crowdfunding fails, I'm not writing a book. Crucially, so please go buy this fucking book.
There's no reason. I already said it. Yeah, there's no reason you'd be listening to this if you didn't want to read Blake's book. So
yeah. Every single person who has listened to this podcast, like if you were coming here for a more informative podcast, what you're looking for is Blake's book. Like you were looking for, it will be the definitive history of this, and we're just a bunch of like goofy freaks talking about this shit.
If I may say one more thing about it, if you're unclear on the book, half of the book, a third to half of the book has technically already been published. If you Google Guitar Hero Oral History, you can read half of it. The book is expanding that piece to include Rock Band and Guitar Hero 3. So you can go read like 30,000 words of this book and then be like, hey, the first half was pretty good. Guess I'll give some money to buy the second half. So there you go.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Blake, for joining us here today and for enduring the torture that is the upper crust at the very end.
That was kind of fucked up that y'all did that at the end. I would not have agreed to that.
I'm lulling everybody into a false sense of security, with the Rob Zombie and the ZZ Top, and then I'm hitting them with the like vaguely homophobic like joke band at the end. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll be running these weekly on the Indie Heads podcast feed. Up Sunday for patrons. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast, if I've got that right. And then public on Tuesdays. And next week, we're going to finish out Guitar Hero 1 with the last 3 tiers, a few more bonus songs. I am just now, because we put the public announcement about this out today. Thanks, Matty, for doing us a solid there. We've got the word going. I got a lot of new guests to sift through, but I think next episode was one I was still finding a guest for, and I think we've got one right at the last minute. So we're gonna tap in. We're gonna do some fun stuff there, and so excited to keep going on this journey with my co-op partner Gavin.
That's right.
We're gonna keep rocking out.
That's me rocking out.
And thank you, Matty, for sitting in and enduring this psychic torture in the name of nostalgia.
Look, I survived the #1 series. I'll be okay.
That's true.
All right? I've survived some shit through the last 4 years of this podcast, folks.
You say that, but are you ready for just how much Warriors of Rock is going to throw at you? Because that is 80 plus songs.
He's not ready for
I will say, in doing this podcast, especially the run we've had over the last 4 years, I don't think I've seen Gavin speechless yet. So the fact that he's already speechless in episode 1 because of the upper crust, Okay, I am a little okay. I was having a brave face, but I'm definitely afraid. But thank God I'm just a producer and I'm not I'm not a host. So I can check out just enough. But oh God, if you have shit like this every episode, I'm afraid. I'm so afraid.
I will say I've not encountered anybody at the level of the upper crust, but like I'm now like going through with a fine comb, like, and making sure I like dip in a little bit to every band just to make sure I'm not missing gems like this. Cause this is what it's all about. It's not about the stuff that you remember and fondly think about. It's about the stuff that you're like, wait, this was in this game. This was, and I want this to be a revelatory experience for everybody, regardless of your familiarity with these games. So stay tuned. There's some goodies coming up, is all I'll say. But thank you for tuning in, and we'll rock out with you next week. Till then.
Clean shirt, new shoes. I don't know where I'm going to. Silk suit, black tie. I don't need a reason why they come running just as fast as they can. Every girl is crazy about a sharp-dressed man.